Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Comprehension Heaven-Defying, Rebirth Sasuke, Revitalization. Chapter 121. Nagato and Konan looked at each other. We will leave the Akatsuki organization and return directly to Rain Shinobi Village, which is our hometown after all. Nagato said after a moment of silence. Sasuke, I'm sorry for the damage caused to Konoha Village. If necessary, I can perform the Rinne Tensei technique. Sasuke shook his head slightly. Fortunately, I came back in time and the damage you caused was very limited. Since he has the Flying Thunder God technique, the time it takes to get back to Konoha village is very short. In addition, there are powerful Jonin such as Kakashi and Might Guy holding Nagato back. So almost as soon as he started destroying, Sasuke and Tsunade returned to sleep. With Tsunade's medical ninjutsu, even if someone in Konoha village is injured, the injury should be under control quickly. Sasuke thought to himself. Therefore, it is very likely that no one died in Sleepy Leaf Village. There is no need for Nagato to use the Rinne Tensei technique. Moreover, Sasuke is also worried that even if someone in Konoha village dies, Nagato revives him in this way, possibly at the cost of his own life. Once he dies and is resurrected by Orochimaru using impure world reincarnation, it will cause even greater damage. In that case, Sasuke, apologize to the Hokage for me, and let's go back first. As for the masked man, that guy named Obito, his strength is not enough to threaten me. Nagato whispered. Through these years of contact, he can confirm that Obito's frontal combat power is not strong. Otherwise, there is no need to confuse them and form an Akatsuki organization to achieve their goals. Sasuke, for the sake of peace, please ask if you need us in the future. Nagato said suddenly. Now, he is more willing to trust Sasuke and place his hopes for peace in him. Sasuke nodded slightly, watched the two people leave, and then quickly returned to Konoha. Konoha village. The ninjas in the village quickly took action. They moved away the ruins of several ruined buildings on Shira Road and rescued the villagers inside. Then, Katsuyu from Tsunade was summoned and he quickly treated them. Soon, Konoha village stabilized the situation. Hokage building. Beside Tsunade, several Anbu members, including Yugao, were looking around cautiously. Suddenly, Sasuke appeared in front of Tsunade. Who? Anbu just made a warning and found out it was Sasuke, and he was relieved. Sasuke, how's it going? Is it solved? Tsunade opened his amber eyes and asked. At the same time, he ordered Anbu next to him, Shiyan, you go down first. With Sasuke here, I will not be in danger. Yes, Hokage-sama. Jiming Anbu quickly retreated and disappeared around him. Sasuke walked closer to Tsunade and whispered. Of course, regardless of who takes action, Nagato has been convinced by me. Tsunade looked suspicious. Really, it's that simple. Ahem, of course, we have to fight. Tsunade suddenly smiled. He also said it was persuasion, but I'm afraid he used his fists. By the way, Tsunade, if you use Baihao technique, you won't turn into an old woman due to excessive consumption. Why? Sasuke suddenly remembered something and said. Idiot, if you just treat so many people, what will it cost you? Tsunade glanced at him and said, by the way, Kakashi is looking for you. Go meet him first and leave this to me. Sasuke nodded slightly. Then, he quickly locked Kakashi's location through his perception ability. On the rooftop of a building. Kakashi covered Sharingan, cold sweat broke out on his forehead. What's wrong? Suddenly, Sasuke appeared behind him and asked. Sasuke, my Sharingan seems to have awakened new abilities. Kakashi turned his head, and Sasuke discovered that the three Magatama in his eyes had connected together to form a new pattern. Sure enough, it's Obito's pupil technique Kamui that has awakened. Sasuke's eyes narrowed slightly. Suddenly, Kakashi used his 5 magic powers on Sasuke. I saw him staring into the distance, and then the space quickly distorted. A large opening suddenly opened in a building in the distance. Kakashi, you should understand what this means. Kakashi was slightly silent after hearing this. Uchiha Obito is still alive. Kakashi knew very well that Obito had just awakened Sharingan when he gave him Sharingan. It's just a pair of Magatama. And now, Sharingan has become Mangekyo. According to the secret of Sharingan told by Sasuke, Obiri must have survived at that time. Then by some chance, my Mangekyo Sharingan opened his eyes. Kakashi, I think we've met Obito. Sasuke walked up to him and said. It must be the guy with the mask from Akatsuki. He gave me a familiar feeling at that time. That scene popped into Kakashi's mind. Sasuke nodded slightly. Uchiha Obito appeared during this 5-cage talks. Well, this guy actually. Kakashi turned his head. Obito, what is he going to do? Declared war on the 5 major powers, and he colluded with Orochimaru to prepare a considerable amount of white Zetsu and impure world reincarnation to many powerful people. Moreover, taking advantage of the 5 Shadows meeting, he asked 6 Paths Pain to take action against Konoha, which has already made his attitude clear. Sasuke spoke up and said something that shocked Kakashi. Sure enough, we have gone to extremes. Kakashi sighed, recalling Lin's death. Perhaps this cruel world completely changed Obito. However, now we have completely become enemies. Sasuke, what about the outcome of this meeting? Kakashi suddenly asked. There is no doubt that he will confront Obito later. The result is not bad. The 5 Shadows decided that the 5 major ninja villages will join forces to form a ninja alliance. And Tsunade was elected leader of the alliance. Sasuke said calmly. What? Hand Heavenly Man actually? Kakashi couldn't hide his shock. He guessed almost immediately, Zhao Wang Zhao, that Sasuke must have put a lot of effort behind this. Get ready, the war is about to begin. Sasuke looked into the distance. Kurigakure, the second Mizukage ghost turned around appeared. It's such a nostalgic village, it's almost the same as before. Guilan Wanyu sighed with emotion. I don't know how Kurigakure is developing now. What a shame, it's so frustrating to be controlled by someone using ninjutsu. Ghost Lantern Wanye gritted his teeth and said. The guy hiding behind it, controlling him into Kurigakure, must have no good intentions. If he is not careful, he will bring great disaster to Kurigakure. I hope these juniors will gain some energy and defeat us completely. Ghost Lantern Yu secretly thought of Lu. Soon, Terumi Mei rushed back to the village with the help of Sasuke. She could see at a glance the figure of Wanyu in the blurry mist in the distance. Outskirts of Kurigakure, Terumi Mei and the ninjas behind her all stared nervously at the figure in front of them. A man with long yellow hair, wearing a high-collar windbreaker, a green jersey lining, and a proud mustache was walking slowly. Oh, I didn't expect that Sonagakure's 5th Mizukage turned out to be a woman. After Ghost Lantern Yu approached, he said with a surprised look on his face. What, 2nd Mizukage-sama, do you have any doubts about my ability? Terumi Mei stared with an evil look. Ghost Lantern Yu just smiled. Sasuke, you don't need to take action yet, I want to see how strong the legendary 2nd Mizukage is. Terumi Mei whispered. 2nd Mizukage Ghost Lantern Phantom Moon, whose name is a legend in Snow Shadow Village. Almost no one knows it, no one knows it. He is a fighting maniac who enjoys war extremely and possesses powerful secret techniques and talents. Under his leadership, Kurigakure's strength and position at that time was much stronger than it is now. However, with Sasuke's legendary moves, Terumi Mei feels that his strength is much stronger than before, and he wants to have a try with Ghost Lantern Genzuki. Just when the two of them were at war with each other. Suddenly, in Kurigakure in the distance, a young man holding a beheading sword rushed over quickly. Hey, no, it's really you. The moment Gui Deng Shuiyu saw him, he frowned. The Ghost Lantern Magic Month is the pride of their Ghost Lantern clan. In addition to successfully serving as Mizukage, he also carried forward the family. He had a huge influence on the Ghost Lantern clan, but now, he has been reincarnated by the impure world and turned into a pawn of the enemy. It's really infuriating. Damn Orochimaru. Gui Deng Shuiyu cursed secretly in his heart. Huh, you guy, your face looks a bit familiar. Ghost Lantern Yu looked at Shuiyu, touched his chin and said. 2nd Mizukage-sama, don't you know, he is Kido Suigetsu, the current owner of the beheading sword. So that's how it is. No wonder it looks a bit like me when I was young. Ghost Lantern Wanyu smiled. He seems very satisfied with the current situation. HMPH, that's enough of reminiscing about old times, it's time to take action. Orochimaru's cold voice entered his mind. Juniors, be careful, the magician is about to launch an attack. Ghost Lantern Wanyu reminded. Damn it, my body, really doesn't obey its orders. The next second, Lantern Moon Formation cast summoning technique. As a large amount of white smoke came out, a huge clam BCBJ with an extremely hard shell appeared around him. Damn it, you actually investigated all my ninjutsu. Ghost Lantern Yu cursed. Obviously, the controller of the reincarnation of the Dirty Land was planning to use his special trick. The tentacles of the big clam suddenly sprayed out a large amount of white mist. The thick fog instantly covered the surroundings and formed another clone of Ghost Lantern Yu. Be careful, it's Lord Second Hokage's mirage. Behind Terumi Mei, many people recognized this move. Through the thick fog of the summoning beast, a large-scale mirage is formed to confuse the enemy and avoid physical attacks. This is also the famous trick of Ghost Lantern Yu. It is different from illusion, but a real illusion. Suddenly, the ghost lantern in the thick fog raised his hands and changed them into pistol shapes. Call out. His fingertips quickly shot out high-speed liquid, shooting towards Terumi Mei and others. Water style, wall of water. Terumi Mei formed a seal with her hands, and a huge water wall appeared in front of her to block the attack. It's fake, this is an attack launched by illusion. Sasuke on the side reminded him. The attacks in the illusion are different from illusions and are almost indistinguishable. If you really want to defend yourself, you can only be like Terumi Mei. But in this way, frequent illusion attacks will make them tired of dealing with them and waste a lot of chakra. Terumi Mei certainly understands this level. She frowned slightly, and then used her blood inheritance limit, boil style. With the fusion of the two attributes of water and fire chakra in her body, a high concentration of scorching mist was formed, which spewed out from her mouth and quickly spread into the illusion. It turns out to be boil style, trying to break my illusion through a large-scale attack ninjutsu. Ghost Lantern Yu nodded slightly. The idea is good, but unfortunately in this open environment, the power of boil style is too weak. Boil style, as a highly concentrated and hot acid gas, the higher the concentration, the more destructive it is. Therefore, if it is in a closed environment, the power of boil style is extremely terrifying. Now, I'm afraid it's impossible to break the big clam's defense. Really, Second Mizukage, you underestimate me. Suddenly, light golden lines lit up on Terumi Mei's body. A large amount of natural energy between heaven and earth was quickly absorbed into her body. The next second, she displayed the boil style, and its destructive power quickly became stronger at a terrifying speed. Tisk! The thick shell of the big clam melts quickly at a speed visible to the naked eye. The white mist that originally filled the surrounding area quickly began to disappear. It actually cracked my mirage. The power of this boil style is really amazing. Ghost Lantern Yu opened his eyes wide and praised. With a bang, the big clam finally couldn't bear the erosion of boil style and disappeared instantly. Suddenly, a large number of bubbles appeared next to Ghost Lantern Yu. They floated and kept flying in the direction of Terumi Mei. Is it blisters? Technique. This kind of trick is useless to me. The corners of Terumi Mei's mouth raised slightly. Sure enough, as soon as these bubbles approached the high concentration hot gas, they burst and exploded instantly. There was no way to get close to her. Moreover, with the invasion of boil style, Ghost Lantern Yu's body was covered with a lot of dust. The dirty body gradually began to dissolve. Sure enough, is your body starting to be unable to hold on? Ghost Lantern Yu murmured to himself. Terumi Mei's boil style really restrains him. No, in other words, a large-scale and extremely destructive ninjutsu like this will restrain many ninjutsu. Well, there's only one last trick left. Ghost Lantern Yu immediately used the oil and water in his body to create a special clone. This is a clone that looks somewhat similar to him, resembling a child. A big knife appears on his right arm, and he is very agile. Sure enough, it appears, Second Mizukage's unique move, the infinite explosive ninjutsu, the dangerous power of steaming. Among the Kurigakur crowd, Tu's voice was low. This is a very difficult ninjutsu. Even Second Tsuchikage, who has the superior bloodline elimination ability, has a hard time dealing with it. The inside of the steaming clone is just water, which is easy to heat and cold. Once something is moved, the oil on the surface will be heated rapidly. At the same time, the water inside evaporates, causing a water vapor explosion. The more the clone moves, the greater the heat, and the water in the body will begin to evaporate very quickly. Moreover, after the energy cools down, the water vapor will absorb and explode again, and the cycle can be endless. Seeing Zheng Wei's clone flying towards him, everyone's eyes tightened. In the boil-style mist, the clones of Zhejian are constantly moving. As it absorbs the energy in the hot mist, it begins to expand rapidly. When it flew in front of everyone, its size had expanded to the limit and it fell into an unstable state. Be careful, it's about to explode. Second Mizukage spoke up to remind. The next second, the steaming danger clone expanded rapidly. Water style, water dragon bomb. Upon seeing this, Terumi Mei immediately used water style ninjutsu. A huge water dragon flew out and swallowed Zheng Wei's clone in one gulp. Boom! Immediately afterwards, there was a violent explosion. Countless water splashes. The explosion of Zheng Wei's clone failed to cause any damage because it was blocked by the water dragon. However, this explosion also gave everyone a false alarm. What's more, Zheng Wei's clone returned to its original state after the explosion. Terumi Mei frowned and quickly removed Boil Style. Boil Style ninjutsu is like a charger for the steamed clone. It can quickly absorb energy and explode within a few seconds. Quick, let's go help Mizukage celestial being. Suddenly, many ninjas from behind shouted. As a result, many ninjas used their methods one after another, and various kunai shurikens flew towards the clone. However, in the face of this oil and water separation, these physical attacks are completely ineffective. Instead, the accumulated energy from the continuous attacks quickly caused the steaming danger clone to begin to expand. These guys are simply doing a disservice. Terumi Mei was speechless. Ordinary ninjas had nothing to do when faced with this secret technique. They could only watch helplessly as the Zanwei clone continued to recharge and exploded infinitely. Another explosion is about to happen. In the distance, Sasuke, who was watching the battle, sighed slightly. In a flash, he appeared in front of Zheng Wei's clone. What is he going to do? Everyone below looked surprised. Faced with this kind of dangerous clone that cannot be beaten to death, it is best to avoid it as soon as possible. If you rush forward directly, wouldn't you risk your death? Sasuke, it's dangerous, leave quickly. Terumi Mei frowned and shouted. Although she knew that with Sasuke's strength, this kind of explosion might not be able to hurt him. Sasuke reached out his hand and touched the clone lightly. Suddenly, Zheng Wei's clone shrank rapidly and was quickly solidified. Turned into an ice sculpture. To deal with this move, ice bloodshed is really useful. Sasuke smiled. The steam hazard explosion allows the steam hazard clone to continuously switch between liquid and gas states. But facing the ice escape ninjutsu, you will be frozen in an instant. There was no possibility of escaping from the explosion. That little guy can actually escape through ice. Ghost Lantern Yu was slightly startled. At this moment, a huge water ball like a meteorite fell from the sky and hit him. Ghost Lantern Yu jumped sharply to avoid the attack. The next second, Sasuke and Terumi Mei flashed behind him. Terumi Mei formed a seal with her hands, and a huge water dragon fell from the sky. Sasuke stretched out his hand and injected ice release chakra. Combination ninjutsu, Frost Dragon. The next second, the huge ice dragon swept out and bit Guilan Wanyu in its mouth. You two work well together. Ona's Hanzuki smiled slightly. It seems that Kurigakure's shadow strength is not weak. He is really an outstanding junior. Before he finished speaking, Guilan Wanyu's body was covered with thick frost. Soon, he and the frost dragon turned into a huge ice sculpture. I finally sealed him. This guy's ninjutsu is really difficult to deal with. Terumi Mei murmured to herself. If she was the only one, she could use water-style ninjutsu to cool down the evaporating danger clone, so she wouldn't be afraid. But now if we want to protect the ninja behind us, we can only quickly seal the second Mizukage. Otherwise, once the steam clone explodes, it may cause considerable casualties. Sasuke, thanks to you this time, otherwise it would have taken a lot of effort to seal the second Mizukage. Terumi turned her head and looked at him and said with a smile. With your strength, once you use boil style with all your strength, you can quickly dissolve the filthy earth body of Ghost Lantern Wanyu. Sasuke said with a smile. Fighting alone, Terumi Mei is not at a disadvantage. But with the ninjas following Mist Shinobi around him, Once he uses his full strength, boil style will probably dissolve them first. Naturally, his hands and feet are tied up in this way, and he cannot fight to his heart's content. Okay, I'll go back to Konoha first. I'm afraid I will face a lot of battles in the next few days. Afterwards, Sasuke cast Flying Thunder God and disappeared. The Land of Earth. Iwagakure, this is a village with a peculiar style and a large number of thick round buildings. Deidara from Impure World Reincarnation sits on a clay eagle, flying in midair. It's really interesting that old man Tsuchikage is not here. Iwagakure, after many years, I'm back. Deidara laughed maniacally. It was here that he was driven out by Kage Onoki like a lost dog. Looking back on those days, Deidara still feels ashamed. Damn old man Tsuchikage, you don't know how to appreciate my art at all. Now, I'm going to make you, a proud guy, suffer the consequences. Deidara sneered and waved his hand fiercely. Suddenly, a large number of clay spiders were thrown from the air and quickly fell into various buildings. Rumble. A violent explosion resounded across the sky. As the smoke rose, the screams and wails of many ninjas came from the village. Ha ha ha, it's such a pleasing art. Guys like Iwagakure don't know how to appreciate. Deidara shook his head slightly. Suddenly, his eyes narrowed. Reminds me of the scene when I was just reincarnated by Impure World. Damn it, as a proud artist, I will be resurrected by that dirty guy Orochimaru. Deidara felt angry when she thought of this. More importantly, when he asked Orochimaru if everyone in the world had seen his last art. The answer he got made him extremely angry. Art, can it be called art if it dies in obscurity deep in the sea? Orochimaru's mocking voice seemed to ring in his ears. Damn Uchiha Sasuke, he's even more disgusting than that guy Uchiha Itachi. The ultimate art that he was proud of was transferred to Uchiha Sasuke. No trace left in the world. It's simply unbearable. This time, after being reincarnated by Impure World, he wants to fully display his art. Leave a lasting mark in the history of the ninja world. At this time, in Iwagakure, many elite ninjas appeared one after another. The leader is none other than the king. This explosive technique, and the familiar chakra. That's right, it's that guy Deidara. He actually went back to Iwagakure to take revenge. Lois murmured to himself. Remember, you must do your best to stop him. Lois roared and began to use Earth-style ninjutsu. The elite ninjas at the rear also took action. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble violently. The huge rock barrier slowly stretched out and began to block the important buildings of Iwagakure. At the same time, they silently protect the villagers. A few days later, countries including Konoha received the news at the same time. Iwagakure was attacked by the Akatsuki organization and suffered heavy losses. The murderer who launched the attack was none other than Iwagakure's former rebel ninja, Deidara. Onoki, who rushed back to Iwagakure after hearing the news, was so angry that his lungs almost exploded. Originally, he had doubts about forming the Ninja Alliance. I don't want to give up my power as a Tsuchikage. But when he returned to the village, he saw the devastation left behind by the attack. Suddenly angry, he immediately wrote to the other four shadows, hoping that the Ninja Alliance would be established as soon as possible. As a result, under the leadership of the 5 major countries, the Ninja Alliance was finally formed. An underground base of the Akatsuki organization. Madara, the situation seems to be not good now. The strong man of Impure World Reincarnation has been sealed several times again. Orochimaru said hoarsely. Uchiha Obito sat aside and did not respond. Madara, if you want to start a war, the current military strength alone is not enough. Orochimaru spread his hands. Although he went through Impure World Reincarnation, summoning was no less of a ninja than he was in the past. But compared with the ninja coalition forces of the 5 major countries, the number seems too small. If we really want to start a war, I'm afraid the opponent will outnumber them to death. HMPH, of course I know that, Orochimaru, take a good look underground. Obito said with a smile on his face. In an instant, Orochimaru lowered his head and soon saw. A large number of white humanoid creatures appeared from the underground of this stronghold. They are so numerous and densely packed that they are terrifying. This is. Orochimaru had a look of shock on his face. HMPH, with the power of Gedo statue, the district produced 100,000 white Zetsu. Relying on them, we can go to war with the ninja coalition head-on. Although the strength of White Zetsu is generally not strong, most members of the so-called Ninja Alliance are also very weak. They are just ordinary ninjas from each village including Genin. HMPH, what's more, White Zetsu still has that skill. Orochimaru, you just need to follow the agreement and continue to resurrect other strong people. I will order White Zetsu to hold back the coalition forces on the frontal battlefield. Then, use the strong men summoned by Impure World Reincarnation as sharp knives to implement the Tailed Beast capture plan. Obito slowly told the plan. By then, with the number of White Zetsu, he was confident that he would be able to find them no matter how deeply Nine Tails hid them. Suddenly, Zetsu stuck his head out from the ground. Madara, the real Eight Tails Killer Bee has been found. Oh, where did this guy go? Previously, through Impure World Reincarnation's third Raikage and second Tsuchikage, they captured Killer Bee from Cloud Thunder Canyon. At first, Obito didn't notice anything unusual, until he tried to use illusions to communicate and control the mantissa in Killer Bee's body. I was shocked to discover that this guy was just a clone transformed from an octopus tentacle. He also had to admit that Killer Bee's clone technique was too realistic. Even Mangekyo Sharingan can't tell the difference between reality and fiction. Eight Tails Killer Bee, he is near the Iron Country now, and he probably wants to find Raikage. Ju spoke. Uchiha Obito nodded slightly. Orochimaru, I'll leave him to you and Kisame. Don't miss it again this time. HMPH, don't worry, he can't lie to me twice. Orochimaru smiled sinisterly. In a snowfield, Killer Bee felt uneasy. Just now, he visited his raccoon master. As a result, I heard amazing news from him. The eldest brother, fourth Raikage, actually held a meeting of the Five Shadows because he was caught. It's over, Yuki, I'm afraid Big Brother will be very angry this time, you bastard. Killer Bee said to Eight Tails inside his body. Bye, it's all your fault. I had to run out quietly. Now, Raikage thinks you have been caught. Given his feelings for you, it is normal for him to have such an overreaction. Humph, if you are found by him this time, Jia-Ding will get a beating. In Killer Bee's inner world, Eight Tails smiled and spoke, somewhat gloating. However, I have informed my eldest brother of my location, and he should be here soon. While he was communicating with Eight Tails, suddenly, several figures slowly appeared in front of him under the snow. These are white humanoid creatures that look exactly like humans. But both Killer Bee and Eight Tails can feel that they are not human through chakra. I found you, Eight Tails, come with us. At this moment, Kisame Kazaki also appeared in front of him. Ha, with this outfit, it's really Akatsuki who has come here. Killer Bee frowned. Go ahead and grab Eight Tails. The White Zetsu swarmed up and surrounded Killer Bee. But in the next second, 8 sharp knives stabbed out, killing them instantly. Oh, this is the Eight Tails, also known as Killer Bee. His tricks are really weird. He can actually control 8 knives at the same time. Kisame Kazaki smiled. Then, he held the same shark and quickly killed him. Go. Killer Bee waved his hand and shot a kunai filled with lightning-style chakra at him. Hoshigaki Kisame ducked his head. However, I was still scratched by lightning-style chakra. Just as his attention was attracted, Wanla flashed over in an instant. The sharp blade in his hand thrust out, but it was blocked by Samahata's broad body. The next second, a red chakra appeared on Killer Bee's body and turned into a tailed beast coat. The 8 tail-like coats instantly grabbed his knife and stabbed Samahata from all directions. Meanwhile, Killer Bee is infused with lightning-style chakra. Lightning-style, ultrasonic vibration knife. After injecting lightning-style chakra, the lethality will be greatly enhanced. Even steel can be easily pierced. However, when his knife stabbed Eight Tails' shark muscle, it was easily blocked. What? Kisame Kazaki swung his sword fiercely, and Killer Bee quickly stepped back. But Samahata still slipped past the mantissa. It failed to pierce. Killer Bee showed a hint of surprise. Soon, the red chakra on his body faded quickly and then disappeared. What's wrong, Ghost? Bye, that knife of his is very weird. I can feel my chakra being sucked away. At this time, Eight Tails spoke. I see, it sucked away my lightning-style chakra, so I can't use to assassinate the minister. This guy belongs to Kurigakure, so that sword is Samahata. Killer Bee reacted. Humph, the tailed beast's chakra really makes Yaoji very excited. Hoshigaki Kisame showed his fangs and said with a smile. At this moment, the samahata in his hand was squirming crazily, and at the same time there were sharp spikes that pierced the bandages binding it. Yuki, transform into a half-tailed beast and defeat him in one breath. Okay, bye, let's fight it quickly. If we continue to drag it out, it won't be good if a lot of chakra is taken away. With 8 tails chakra infusion, Killer Bee was instantly wrapped in a dark red coat, his head looked like horns, and his body also grew head-like bones. Ha, you're using the power of the tailed beast. Hoshigaki Kisame stared at him closely. The next second, Rabbit rushed towards him. Suffer death, you stinky shark. Killer Bee roared and his speed soared. It's so fast. As expected of the perfect Jinchuriki, he can transform into a tailed beast to such an extent. Kisame Kazaki was surprised. In this state, Killer Bee's speed is much faster than before. Go! Kisame Kazaki still wielded Samahata and slashed at Killer Bee. Zitsa. As the lightning-style chakra surged, Killer Bee avoided the knife, and at the same time, the sharp knife in his hand stabbed Kisame Kisami's head. Hiss. There was a big wound on Kisami's chest. You stinking octopus, you are so fast. Kisame Kazaki covered his injured wound and cursed at Shang. Well, I almost forgot to tell you that octopuses eat sharks. Killer Bee brandished the sharp knife and continued to kill. Tisk tisk tisk. Suddenly, Samahata expanded violently and became like a shield. The spikes on its body grew longer rapidly, making it look extremely ferocious. Kisame swung fiercely, and Samahata's long spikes instantly slid past Killer Bee. At the same time, it opened its big mouth, exposed its ferocious teeth, and ripped off most of Killer Bee's tailed beast coat in one go. What? It's actually alive. Killer Bee quickly retreated, regardless of the bleeding wound. At this moment, Samahata no longer looked like a sword at all, and looked like a ferocious big fish. HMPH, it's a pity that my Samahata loves octopus the most. 8 Tails chakra has expanded it to an unprecedented level. Look, he seems to be praising that your chakra is delicious. Looking at Samahata, who was constantly trembling and very excited, Inokaki Kisame said hee. What an exaggeration. Chuck actually ate 6 tails in one go. Bye, you have to be careful. 8 tails reminded inside him. Since it wants to eat, let it eat as much as it can. A large amount of dark red-tailed beast chakra emerged from Killer Bee's body again. Above his head, the white bull head bones grew rapidly, looking extremely ferocious. Tailed beast, status, completely compressing the power of the tailed beast into a humanoid body. It has more terrifying explosive power and is more flexible than a tailed beast. Boom. As soon as Killer Bee stepped on the ground cracked. His whole body was like an extremely violent bull, with its white skeletal head charging away violently. Rumble. A large number of huge trees were broken. The entire forest seemed to tremble under this blow. The smoke cleared, revealing Hoshigaki Kisame. At this moment, a big crater was knocked out of his abdomen, and his flesh and blood were bloody. There was blood dripping from the corner of his mouth, and he was obviously seriously injured. Yeah, stinky shark, you're going to die, you bastard. Killer Bee stretched out his hand and showed a confident smile. Unless the tailed beast Jinchuriki is injured like this, it will be difficult for him to survive. But the next moment, Samahata's tail secretly wrapped around Hoshigaki Kisame. Soon, a large amount of chakra gushes out of his body and is quickly transported into Hoshigaki Kisami's body. Immediately afterwards, Kisami's serious abdominal injury healed quickly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Kisame Kazaki stood up slowly and sneered. You bastard octopus, you really hit me twice, it hurt me so much. It's a pity that this uncle is called a tailless beast. In addition to his own chakra, Samahata plays a major role. What? It's healed. Killer Bee and 8 Tails were both surprised. They instantly realized how difficult Kisame was. Water style, due to the impact of waterfalls. Hoshigaki Kisame quickly formed a seal and spurted a giant stream of water from his mouth. Soon, a huge water mass formed, swallowing up everything around it. The amount of chakra this guy has is really surprising. He can actually perform such a wide range of water-style ninjutsu. Killer Bee entered the water and muttered to himself. Bye, you'd better leave as soon as possible, this guy is very good at water style. Eight-Tail's words have not yet finished. The dried persimmon Kisame laughed strangely. Then, the same shark muscle on the side quickly climbed onto him and started to fuse by pressing it. Soon, a strange man with the appearance of a human shark and a fish waist appeared in Shui Tuanshan. Eight Tails, now let me show you my ultimate form after merging with Samahata. After transforming into a mermaid form, Kisame is incredibly fast in the water. I saw him swimming quickly and constantly attacking Killer Bee. It's like a phantom. Killer Bee is already much slower in the water flow, coupled with Kisame interference. For a while, it was difficult to leave this huge water mass. Even breathing started to have problems. Water style, dumpling bomb technique. Hoshigaki Kisame quickly condenses chakra, forming a quasi-angular water bomb to surround himself. Swimming rapidly in the water mass at an astonishing speed, the sharp teeth of the water bomb keep biting at Killer Bee. There were wounds left on his body, and constantly seizes the chakra from Killer Bee. Damn smelly shark, it's too fast in this water polo. Killer Bee instantly realized something was wrong. No, if this continues, all my chakra will be absorbed by him. Killer Bee gritted his teeth slightly, and the huge brown tentacles quickly stretched out from his back. Almost instantly, Killer Bee completely transformed into a tailed beast and turned into a huge 8 tails. HMPH, finally you can't bear it anymore. Looking at the huge figure appearing in the water polo, Inukasaki Kisame sneered. Bye, use ink. 8 Tails spoke up to remind. Good. Soon, a large amount of black ink quickly spread with Killer Bee as the center. Directly dye the entire water mass black. In this case, this guy should lose his target. Killer Bee thought to himself. But surprisingly, dried persimmon Kisame seemed unaffected. He still used the fish-man fusion form and kept chewing the tail of his body. Ha, stupid octopus, my perception in this state is very powerful. In this water mass, you are like insects caught in a spider's web. I know every move you make. Kisame Kazaki sneered. So that's it. 8 Tails' huge tentacles quickly contracted and soon completely wrapped themselves. Immediately afterwards, 8 Tails began to rotate at high speed, driving the entire giant water mass, forming the terrifying Uzumaki. What a powerful force, not good. Kisame Kazaki showed a hint of shock and tried his best to maintain the water-style ninjutsu. But the next second, the extremely huge Li Huang swept over. The huge water mass exploded instantly, turning into countless black raindrops and splashing in all directions. The surrounding snowfields were dyed black. Far away, the guard Nozomi next to 4th Raikage is trying to sense the surroundings. How about it, have you found Bai? His location should be in this area. Suddenly, at the moment when the water mass exploded. Open your eyes fiercely. Master Raikage, we found it, hurry up, follow me. She looked in one direction and rushed quickly. Raikage and the others quickly followed. Plop, Kisami's body fell into the snow. Damn stinky octopus, you actually broke my water-style ninjutsu with brute force. Kisame stood up and quickly released the fusion state with Samahata. At this moment, he was breathing heavily. 8 Tails' brute force special move, Tailed Beast 8 Scrolls, can cause considerable damage to him even if it passes through the water flow. At this moment, he felt that his whole body was in great pain, as if his body had been torn apart. You know, if it is on flat ground, the power of Tailed Beast Hachimaki is enough to destroy the forest and even change the terrain. This shows how powerful it is. Stinky shark, you're dead this time, bastard. Killer Bee clenched his fists with both hands and punched him fiercely. Boom, a huge crater exploded in the entire snow. On the other hand, Kisame Kazaki retreated flexibly and evaded the attack with difficulty. At this moment, a thunder light flashed in the distance. Bye, you brat, how dare you sneak out without telling me? Raikage's furious voice came. Killer Bee was slightly startled when he heard this, and quickly released his tailed beast transformation and returned to his human form. Big, it turns out that Big Brother is here. Just as he turned his head. With a bang, Raikage slapped him hard in the face. Bye, you bastard, you actually made me worry so much. Raikage said with an angry look. Brother, I'm sorry. Killer Bee knew that Raikage was angry and immediately lowered his head. Suddenly, Fourth Reikage turned his head and looked at Hoshigaki Kisame in the distance. HMPH, are they the minions sent by Akatsuki again? As soon as Reikage finished speaking, several other figures quickly appeared beside him, including Shi, Chloe, and Sammy team. Ah, you stinky octopus, you actually called for help, it's really troublesome. It was Kisami's turn to say with a sneer. At this point, there is still no sign of panic. Bye, you haven't forgotten our combined moves, Reikage said calmly. That's natural, brother, get ready. Oh, Hoshigaki Kisame stared at the few people and prepared for the challenge. Lightning style, lightning pillar. Suddenly, Nozomi took the lead in launching the ninjutsu. A dazzling bolt of lightning erupted from his body, hitting Hoshigaki Kisame, who was staring at him intently. Oops, it's a trap. Kisami's eyes immediately fell into a blur of whiteness. He was temporarily blinded. At this time, two figures came one behind the other, opening their strong arms and hitting his body heavily. Double, type hot knife. Hoshigaki Kisami's head was thrown away. Blood spurted out, and the headless body hit Shui Dichin hard. HMPH, it would be your honor to die under the joint attack of me and my brother, you shark bastard. Killer B looked at his body and cursed in a low voice. Suddenly, he noticed the sword Samahata lying quietly in the snow beside him. This knife, well, it seems very good. Killer B immediately stepped forward and picked it up. At this moment, Samahata was touching him affectionately. Well, little guy, it seems you like my chakra very much, please follow me from now on. Killer B smiled. This ninja sword can consume chakra, gradually weakening the enemy during battle. The further the battle goes, the better the effect will be. At the same time, it will also pass the swallowed chakra to the owner to assist in healing. It can be said that among the 7 ninja swords, the effect of Samahata is undoubtedly ranked 3rd. It is truly the most powerful ninja sword. After having it, my strength will be stronger. Killer B happily carried it on his back. Let's go, bye, it's time to go back to the village. This time, for your sake, I specially held a meeting of the 5 shadows. I didn't expect you weren't captured. It's really. Reikage frowned when he said this. Recalling the 5 shadows conference, he immediately shook his head. Unexpectedly, everything I did ended up making a wedding dress for Tsunade, the Hokage, directly making her the leader of the Ninja Alliance. Fortunately, this alliance is only temporary and will be disbanded after the Akatsuki organization is resolved. At that time, he will still be the movie with the highest status in Cloud Shinobi Village. Yes, sir. Killer B lowered his head and followed Reikage obediently towards Cloud Shinobi Village. After everyone left, Kisami's body, which originally fell to the ground dead, quickly faded and turned pale. At the same time, Ju slowly emerged from the ground. Unfortunately, at the last minute, Garin appeared. HMPH, it's all because Orochimaru is too slow, otherwise we would have captured Reikage before he appeared. But, fortunately, a backup plan has been activated. Looking at the dead white Zetsu, he sneered in his heart. Kisame, just sneak into Cloud Shinobi Village and collect enough information for this war. Killer B on his back. In the belly of the giant sword, Kisame suddenly opened his eyes. Well, fortunately, when the water-style ninjutsu was exploded by 8 tails, I replaced it with white Zetsu. Otherwise, facing Reikage and 8 tails at the same time, things may be very difficult. Kisame sneered. In fact, he had known for a long time that Samahata was very satisfied with the powerful tailed beast chakra. Therefore, a plan was made before the battle with 8 tails Killer B. It would be better if we can successfully win 8 tails. Once you lose, or someone else intervenes midway, then look for an opportunity to replace White Zetsu and sneak into Cloud Shinobi Village. After all, for 8 tails Killer B, a powerful ninja sword must be very attractive. Sure enough, he happily took it away as a trophy. Next, I was dormant. Kisame Kazaki thought to himself. Konoha Village. In the conference room of the Hokage building, Tsunade and a group of elite ninjas in the village were staring at the screen. On the screen, it was the figure of the daimyo of the Land of Fire. Tsunade, are you saying that a terrible enemy has appeared in the ninja world and is actually forcing all 5 of you to join forces? The daimyo of the Land of Fire shook his fan and said slowly. King killing, yes, that organization called Akatsuki. The leader is a crazy and dangerous guy. He calls himself Uchiha Madara, and he is collecting tailed beasts so that he can conquer the world with force. Lord Daimyo, we can't delay any longer. We have already discussed the matter of the Ninja Alliance and are just waiting for you and the other 4 daimyos to agree. Tsunade spoke. Well, is the situation already so critical? The daimyo of the Land of Fire frowned slightly, but look at the nervous look of these ninjas now. This is obviously true. Okay, I understand, Tsunade. I will hold a meeting with other daimyo, and this matter of the Ninja Alliance will definitely be passed. The Fire Country daimyo said helplessly. In name, he is the supreme leader of the Fire Nation. However, for those powerful shadows, because of their reputation. In fact, it's just a mascot criminal. For example, Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara, with their strength and prestige at that time. Those so-called famous names are as ridiculous as children in front of them. Seeing the daimyo's assurance, Tsunade breathed a sigh of relief. Lord Daimyo, I will discuss the detailed process with the other 5 shadows as soon as possible. After Tsunade explained a few words, the daimyo took the initiative to turn off the screen. Well, very good, the next step is to secure the various units of the Ninja Alliance. Tsunade thought to himself. The underground base of the Akatsuki organization. Orochimaru and Obito meet. How about that? That's already done. Obito's voice was deep. Well, I really didn't expect that you would have his personal belongings. It's really surprising. Orochimaru's eyes showed a hint of excitement. This impure world reincarnation body was carefully created by me using Hashirama cells, so that its strength is absolutely no less than what it was in life. Oh, Orochimaru. Let me see your proud work. Obito's Sharingan shines with an inexplicable luster. Soon, the snake quickly formed the seal. Reanimation Jutsu. As he patted it down with both hands, a coffin slowly emerged. Kakaka. As the coffin was opened, the figure inside was revealed. This is an Uchiha tribesman wearing red armor, long hair, and a wild look. Uchiha Madara, the name that shocked the ninja world, is finally resurrected again. There was a hint of fanaticism in Orochimaru's eyes. He has always wanted to have the bloodline of the Uchiha clan. One of the important reasons is the man in front of me. Uchiha Madara is synonymous with power. Historically, he once defeated 9 tails with the terrifying power of Sharingan. The battle with Senju Hashirama can easily change the terrain, leaving behind the terrifying Valley of the End. This is a man who can rival the ninja god. Soon, Uchiha Madara's eyes moved and then slowly opened. Uchiha Madara raised his hand and looked at it. Then, he noticed the 2 people in front of him. You actually resurrected me in this way, Obito. It seems your plan is very bad. Uchiha Madara whispered. Well, something happened and Rinnegan's transplants were out of control. Uchiha Obito nodded slightly. Obito. Orochimaru gave him a confused look. This name was unfamiliar to him. Reanimation Jutsu, that ninjutsu created by Senju Tobarama, actually resurrected me. If he knew, I'm afraid. Uchiha Madara said this and smiled softly. It's really ironic that Senju Tobarama, the most hated Uchiha clan, Uchiha Madara was resurrected because of his ninjutsu. Well, it seems you are the magician. Who are you? He asked looking at Orochimaru. Orochimaru is now Obito's assistant. Orochimaru was slightly startled and spoke. Well, Obito, tell me the current situation. Uchiha Madara spoke. Obito frowned, but told Uchiha Madara everything that happened recently. Declaring war on the entire ninja world. That's really your style. However, it is too disappointing to have caught 5-tailed beasts just now. Uchiha Madara sneered. It seems that I still have to take action myself. He said with his hands clasped in front of his chest. But before that, I have to get my power back. It's time to pay a price for accepting my Rinnegan for so long. Then, Uchiha Madara gradually disappeared. Orochimaru looked on with excitement. Hey, I finally have to face off against that pervert guy from Pain. When joining the Akatsuki organization, Orochimaru has experienced Pain's strength. He is worthy of being the owner of the Rinnegan, with a powerful hand. He has a power that makes him completely irresistible, far stronger than the average cage-level ninja. But how will he fare against the confident Uchiha Madara? Strongly curious, Yin Shezi quickly followed him. Rain Shinobi Village. Pain sat on the high tower, looking at the choice BICD side. Ninja World Coalition. I never thought that this day would come to the ninja world that is constantly at war. Nagato murmured to himself in the distance. He received a secret message from Tsunade, which described the plan of the Ninja Alliance. It also includes inviting him to become a part of it. Nagato thought for a while, so he sent Konan to prepare for him to talk to Tsunade in detail. An enemy is coming. The continuous drizzle in Rain Shinobi Village was left behind after he performed the Rain Tiger Freedom. Just step into the rain and Nagato will feel it. Just now, he noticed that someone walked in from the gate of Rain Shinobi Village in a swaggering manner. Very arrogant. Moreover, he could vaguely feel that the person who came was very powerful. There are actually such powerful ninjas hiding in the Akatsuki organization. Nagato showed a hint of surprise. As the nominal leader of the Akatsuki organization, he knows the secrets of Akatsuki very well. Before, he was the happiest person in the Akatsuki organization. Soon, Nagato took control of Six Paths Pain and rushed towards the stranger. The owner of the Rinnegan, a descendant of the Uzumaki clan, now controls Rain Shinobi Village. Uchiha Madara looked around and murmured to himself. Suddenly, Six Paths figures appeared from the darkness, vaguely surrounding him. Oh, you actually split Rinnegan's power and put it on 6 puppets. Uchiha Madara looked at them with interest. When he saw the Rinnegan projection in their eyes, he understood everything instantly. This guy named Nagato seems to have a lot of ideas. Six Paths Pain is a puppet made from corpses. Although they have Rinnegan patterns in their eyes, they are certainly not real Rinnegan. Just like when Uchiha Madara uses Sharingan to control 9 tails, Sharingan patterns will appear in its eyes. These are just images that appear naturally after being manipulated, and have real eye skills. Who are you? How dare you invade Rain Shinobi Village? Tendo Pain stepped forward, looked at Uchiha Madara and asked. Nagato has never seen Uchiha Madara and naturally cannot recognize his identity. However, he had a vague guess in his mind. Not only the body of impure world reincarnation, but also possessing Sharingan. Ordinary Uchiha people are naturally not worthy of being reincarnated as Shahuo by King Luo. But among Uchiha, there are only a few who have Mangekyo Sharingan. The person in front of me is not Uchiha Itachi, so his identity is obvious. Nagato, you should thank me for giving you Rinnegan's power. Uchiha Madara put her hands on her chest and stared at him with her head tilted. Is it really you, Uchiha Madara? Tiandao Pain's voice was low. Well, I'll give you another chance. If you can submit to me, you can avoid death. Otherwise, you will return your power to me today. Uchiha Madara spoke with a hint of threat. Pain was slightly silent. It is rumored that Uchiha Madara is the most powerful in the ninja world. Only the god of ninja, Senju Hashirama, has power comparable to you. I just wanted to verify it. Six Paths Pain looked at Uchiha Madara with a hint of fighting intent in his eyes. Interesting and courageous, but you will regret it. Uchiha Madara smiled. Then come with me. Six Paths Pain quickly rushed to the outskirts of Rain Shinobi Village, where there was a large lake. The area is as big as the ocean. Are you afraid of hurting this village? How ridiculously kind. Uchiha Madara shook his head and followed immediately. On the water, Six Paths Pain stared closely at him. Okay, now there's nothing in the way, you can use your power to your fullest. I also want to see how far the little guy who carried the power of my eyes has grown now. Uchiha Madara stood with her hands behind her back and swept the 6. Do it. Six Paths Pain didn't hesitate. The beast path immediately cast summoning technique. With a lot of smoke coming out, a huge summoning bird appeared in the sky. At the same time, a crab with a thick carapace all over its body also appeared. 2 huge summoning beasts quickly attacked Uchiha Madara. In front of me, 2 summoning beasts rushed in front of me. HMPH, how dare you show off such a trivial skill in front of me? Uchiha Madara snorted coldly and formed a seal with his hands. Fire style, trying to annihilate the clan. His chest swelled and flames shot out from his mouth. In an instant, the 2 summoning beasts were burned to ashes under the flames. Suddenly, Uchiha Madara noticed something strange. He jumped suddenly and quickly left the water. At his feet, the figure of Hungry Kido gradually emerged. Are those summoning beast attacks actually induced? After splitting Rinnegan's abilities, it seems to become more flexible. Uchiha Madara commented secretly in his mind. In midair, the blue chakra skeleton stretched out and quickly surrounded him. A two-faced Susanoo appears holding two long knives at one end. With a thought in Uchiha Madara's mind, the broadsword formed by chakra fiercely slashed at the remaining pains. The moment the sword fell, Shinra Tenjong, Tiandao Pain took a step forward and started pressing. With him as the center, a powerful repulsive force suddenly bounced away. Even the blue Susan's sword was instantly bounced away. At this moment, Shiradao quickly stretched out his hand and a large number of mechanical missiles flew out. They dragged long tail flames and quickly blasted towards Uchiha Madara. Boom! A fierce explosion sounded. However, Uchiha Madara only took a few steps back from the explosion. The powerful Susanoo blocked the impact for him. So this is the Shiradao. Uchiha Madara stared ahead with interest. Tiandao Pain suddenly opened his hand, and a huge attraction instantly acted on Susanoo. The water rippled suddenly. Uchiha Madara's huge Susanoo, also pulled by his power, involuntarily flew towards Six Paths Pain. Boom! A huge fireball erupted from Susanoo's mouth and hit several people in an instant. However, Hungry Kido jumped out from under the water. He quickly spread his hands and absorbed all the raging flames in front of him. This guy wants to use Kido's ability to absorb Susanoo's chakra. Uchiha Madara immediately sensed Nagato's intentions. Although Susanoo is powerful, her defense is also extremely outstanding. But in essence, it is still composed of chakra. Once it is touched by Hungry Kido's hands, it will be quickly sucked away by it. Sure enough, the next second, Shiradao grabbed Kido and threw it hard. He was like a missile, flying towards Susanoo instantly. At the moment when the two come into contact, soon, the huge blue Susan began to collapse. The true form of Uchiha Madara hidden inside is revealed. Under the control of Nagato's universal pull, Uchiha Madara was unable to move and was immediately caught by Kido. Humph, I finally caught you. Tiandao Pain smiled. Even if you are as strong as Uchiha Madara, once your chakra is sucked away, you will fall into a weak state. Instantly, Hungry Kido began to activate his absorption ability. Really? So this is your battle plan? Uchiha Madara nodded slightly. Facing the body of impure world reincarnation, sealing or restricting its actions is the best solution. But don't forget, I also have a Rinnegan. Uchiha Madara's Mangekyo Sharingan changes quickly. Under Six Paths Pain's surprised eyes, he instantly turned into a Rinnegan. Then, he stretched out his hand and grabbed Kido by the neck. What? Even Rinnegan can. Pain is surprised by the power of impure world reincarnation. Nagato, who was hiding behind the scenes, felt his heart sink slightly. Originally, Uchiha Madara was seen just in Mangekyo Sharingan state. Nagato is quite confident about this battle. Although in legend, Uchiha Madara possesses the eternal Mangekyo. But there is still no escape technique from this state. Nagato is confident that as long as he catches him with Kido, Uchiha Madara will also hate him. Unexpectedly, the seemingly young Uchiha Madara also possesses a Rinnegan. After all, in his previous conversation with Sasuke, he learned that Uchiha Madara also opened the Rinnegan in old age. But now, Uchiha Madara and Hungry Kido, two people with the same abilities, begin to confront each other. But obviously, whether it is the amount of chakra or the strength of the body, Uchiha Madara is above this puppet. Nagato immediately sensed that the chakra he had left in Kido was quickly sucked away. Then, Uchiha Madara stretched out his hand, and Kido quickly fell to the ground like a corpse. Bang! Blue Susanoo appears and instantly beats it into a pulp. Now, it's your turn. The huge Susanoo looks down on them. Boom! The blue sword swings out. Shinra Tenjong was activated again, sending Uchiha Madara's Susanoo flying. But the next second, a clone of Madara jumped out of the water. Quickly retreat. Tiandao Pain immediately sensed the danger. The moment he just jumped up, a blue sword fell from the sky and cut the world in half. On Susanoo's back, two huge arms stretched out. Two more punches. The animal path and the Asura path were also blown away. Boom. The two of them hit the water hard, causing huge waves. You two are the last. The huge blue Susanoo crossed his hands and slashed at more than two people with his sharp sword. But Tiandao Pain suddenly opened his eyes. The ripples visible to the naked eye violently repelled everything centered on him. Boom. The huge Susanoo was hit hard on the water. Has the cooling time been restored? Uchiha Madara did no harm. He manipulated Susanoo to stand up. The next second, his eyes narrowed slightly. Six Paths Pain, standing on the lake intact. Uchiha Madara showed a hint of surprise. So it's like this. It's a puppet that can be resurrected continuously. It seems a bit difficult to deal with. Uchiha Madara's eyes are fixed on the Hell Realm. It should be this guy's ability. Well, you can actually use Rinnegan's ability to this extent. Nagato, you have become a lot stronger. Uchiha Madara smiled. Madara, no matter what, I will bury you here this time. Tiandao Pain spoke. Subsequently, Pain's six paths quickly surrounded and attacked. Just right, I haven't moved my muscles for a long time. Uchiha Madara stepped forward and fought with six paths Pain. Bang 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 tilde operator. Fist and foot exchange. Uchiha Madara displays powerful physical skills and amazing speed. Even though Pain's six paths have vision sharing, they can barely keep up with his speed. Uchiha Madara knocked back Shiradao with one punch. At the same time, he leaned over the leg sweep of Human Road. A blue chakra appeared on his right arm, and he punched him away. Whoosh! Asura Dao was blown away, and mechanisms appeared everywhere on his body. Missiles, sawtooths, and blades kept hitting Uchiha Madara. When the attack approached, it was suddenly bounced away. Tiandao Pain stood in the distance, watching silently. Sure enough, with Rinnegan, he also has the ability of six paths. Nagato was not surprised by this. After all, his Rinnegan comes from Uchiha Madara. The abilities he has, the other party naturally has too. But the good thing is that after he split the abilities of six paths, he used each one in ultimate. With six enemies against one, there may be a chance to find an opening and launch a fatal blow. While several people were fighting fiercely, Uchiha Madara did not notice that beneath the surface of the water, the huge shadow of the sun slowly emerged. Just when Uchiha Madara flicked away the black stick of the beast path. Call out. Suddenly, a translucent tongue popped out and instantly circled Uchiha Madara's legs. Then, summoning Beast Chameleon swung him hard and slammed him into the water. The opportunity has come. Six Paths Pain swarmed him instantly. There was a sneer on Uchiha Madara's lips. It seems that playing with you for a long time has given you the illusion that you can compete with me. Powerful blue chakra surged out of his body. Boom. Six Paths Pain was instantly ejected. A majestic-looking blue Susanoo disappeared in a flash. Uchiha Madara is suspended above the water. He looked towards Rain Shinobi Village not far away. It seems that instead of getting entangled with puppets like you, it would be easier to just kill the controller behind the scenes. Besides, I'm also just trying to see how you will deal with this move. Huge blue Susanoo hand seal. Uchiha Madara looked up to the sky. Nagato, you have fought with me for so long, this is my gift to you. The sky was still overcast and drizzle continued. Several Pain looked at him with some doubts. Suddenly, Tiandao Pain's expression changed. I saw a rumbling sound suddenly coming from the clouds. Immediately afterwards, an extremely huge meteorite could be said to cover the sky and the sun. Falling slowly from the sky. Dark clouds are obscured by boulders. Even the drizzle in the sky stopped quickly. That is. How is this possible? He actually summoned a celestial body. Nagato saw a huge meteorite falling from the sky through Pain's vision. It is simply the power of God. Given the size of this meteorite, once it hits, it will probably level the entire Rain Shinobi village to the ground. Now, how are you going to experience it? Uchiha Madara looked at them with interest. From six paths, Pain deliberately left Rain Shinobi village and came to the lake to fight him. Nagato seems to care about this village very much now. Damn Uchiha Madara. Tiandao Pain looked at him hatefully. Quickly suspended in the sky, flying towards the huge meteorite. What a futile struggle. Uchiha Madara shook his head and watched the development of the situation silently. Soon, Tiandao Pain flew under the giant meteorite. Nagato took a closer look and frowned. As he got closer, he became more aware of the size of the meteorite. Ordinary Shinra Tianzhong may not be able to move at all. There is no other way, I can only rely on this trick. Nagato said silently in his heart. Except for Tiandao Pain, several other Pain quickly lost their strength and fell on the floating island. All his chakra is concentrated on Tendo Pain. Soon, Tiandao Pain quickly approached the giant meteorite. He silently looked down at the Rain Shinobi village, which was full of metal pipes. Instantly, blood flowed from Nagato's nostrils. I also, finally have a goal that I want to protect. Super, Shinra Tenjong, rumble. The extremely terrifying repulsive force swept out in all directions with Tiandao Pain as the center. As soon as the giant meteorite approached, the rock at the front began to break, and soon, it quickly turned into powder under the Super Shinra Tenjong. It turned into countless tiny sand and stones, falling from the air. Tiandao Pain quickly fell to the tower. He knelt on one knee and gasped for air. Finally, solved. Deep in the tower, Nagato trembled all over and breathed a sigh of relief. HMPH, I actually cracked it with this trick, Nagato, it seems I really underestimated you. But how will you face the next one? Uchiha Madara stood with her hands behind her hands and smiled. Sure enough, there was a loud rumble in the clouds again. Another huge meteorite fell from the sky, constantly rubbing against the air. What? Tiandao Pain suddenly raised his head and looked at the sky in disbelief. Just destroying one would consume almost all of his chakra. Uchiha Madara, can you summon a second one? Hateful. Tiandao Pain wanted to fly up to stop him, but as soon as he got up, then he collapsed to the ground weakly. Chakra consumes too much. Deep in the tower, Nagato sighed. Perhaps, this is also my destiny. At this moment, he has noticed that death is approaching. But, Rain Shinobi Village, I can definitely protect it. Nagato clasped his hands together and gathered the final chakra. Soon, a sphere that looked like a small black hole appeared. Go, planetary devastation. Nagato, who was extremely tired, used his last strength to blast open the wall of the tower. Watching the ball full of hope, like a black hole, rising into the sky. Soon, stars in the sky collided with giant meteorites. A terrifying attraction instantly clung to this huge meteorite. Finally, it stopped falling. Instead, it was slowly decomposed by the huge gravity and quickly turned into pieces. The bright sunshine shines on Nagato through the clouds penetrated by the meteorite. At this moment, Nagato felt extremely warm all over his body. I didn't expect that Rain Shinobi Village, which has been raining all year round, would also have this moment. Soak up the sunshine. Nagato smiled and slowly closed his eyes. Rain Shinobi Village is half empty. The powerful gravity of the planetary devastation disintegrates the meteorite. At the same time, it attracted the meteorite fragments and formed a huge stone ball in midair. What is that? What happened to such a big meteorite? A miracle, this is simply a miracle. Could it be Master Pain's trick? That's right, only Lord Pain can do this. Many ninjas in Rain Shinobi Village were stunned when they saw the huge stone ball appearing in midair. In their opinion, the only person who can cause such a miracle is Pain, who claims to be God. Lord Pain. Facing this scene, they all exclaimed. Uchiha Madara stood on the high tower, looking down at the people below. It's so boring. He turned his head and looked at the dead Nagato. You are risking your life to protect these ant-like and ignorant guys. Does it worth? Uchiha Madara murmured. However, Nagato, who died after running out of chakra, was destined to be unable to answer his question. Uchiha Madara shook his head and stepped forward. Soon, he removed the Rinnegan from Nagato. At this time, the space on the side twisted and rotated, and Wang's figure was revealed. Humph, you only came here at 18 o'clock. You really know how to choose your time, Obito. Uchiha Madara said with a sneer. Isn't it enough to have you? With your strength, it should be easy to take him down. Obito Sharingan sparkles with luster. No, after a little effort, it seems that Nagato has grown a lot in strength over the years. Okay, now it's time to serve the main course, Wang. Uchiha Madara hands Rinnegan to him. I have to go and rest for a while, and you should be able to handle it later. Uchiha Madara said as the two crossed paths. Leave it to me below. With the power of Rinnegan, those rabble are vulnerable. Obito's voice was deep. Well, don't forget, I will be resurrected at the critical moment. Uchiha Madara left a sentence and disappeared quickly. Obito looked at his disappearing figure with an inexplicable luster in his eyes. Konoha Village. Hokage Office. Tsunade is entertaining Konan. Here, this is our Konoha Village specialty wine, come and have a drink. Tsunade smiled and poured a glass of wine with Konan. It was brewed by Sasuke himself before. Master Hokage, let's get down to business first. Konan was about to refuse, but Tsunade forced him into his hands. At this time, she couldn't put it off, so she had to drink it. Wow, it tastes so good. Konan had a look of surprise on his face. Originally, she didn't like drinking at all, but today's wine had a different taste. That's right, it would be a shame not to drink such a good wine. Tsunade smiled and nodded. Soon, she and Konan began to discuss the matter of the Ninja Alliance. A long time. Kaka. The wine glass on the table suddenly cracked. Konan looked at the broken wine glass, and an ominous premonition suddenly arose in his heart. Deep in her heart, it seemed that she suddenly became empty. Could it be? Konan frowned. Hey Konan, are you listening? Tsunade's voice rang in her ears, and Konan quickly came back to reality. I'm sorry, Hokage-sama, I have something urgent to leave, please forgive me. Konan suddenly stood up and said. What's wrong? Did something happen to Rain Shinobi Village? Tsunade frowned. Konan didn't say anything, and quickly cast paper technique and left. Outside the Hokage office building, Sasuke looked at Konan, who left quickly and touched his chin. Then, he appeared in front of Tsunade in a flash. Konan, why are you in such a hurry to leave? Sasuke asked. I don't know, maybe something happened to Rain Shinobi Village, but it's probably unlikely. Tsunade knows the strength of Six Paths Pain very well. Ordinary cage-level masters are definitely no match for them. There must be no one who is so blind as to dare to break into Rain Shinobi Village directly. Sasuke frowned, realizing that things were not simple. However, Rain Shinobi Village is far away from Konoha, and he did not leave any chakra mark. It's beyond the reach of the whip. By the way, here is the secret message you received. Sasuke suddenly took out a secret letter from his arms and handed it to Tsunade. Tsunade immediately opened it, and after taking a closer look, his face suddenly darkened. What's wrong, Tsunade? Sasuke was confused. How arrogant. This guy Obito actually declared war on the 5 major countries at the same time. Tsunade looked at the information in front of him and growled. According to intelligence, White Zetsu is under the control of Obito. Started to set out for the 5 great ninja villages, seemingly trying to annihilate all the powerful ninjas of the 5 great countries. But how on earth were those white creatures cultivated? There are so many of them. Tsunade frowned. According to the information passed on, there are so many creatures called White Zetsu that there are probably tens of thousands. Ninjas from all over the world are overwhelmed by sheer numbers. Coupled with Orochimaru's army of evil creatures, Obito is indeed very powerful despite being arrogant. This made Tsunade also feel the pressure. After Sasuke glanced at it, he fell silent slightly. It should be that the power of the tailed beast was used to activate some of the abilities of the sacred tree. Sasuke spoke. White Zetsu, originally the people who fell into infinite Tsukuyomi during the Kagaya era, were bound and absorbed by the sacred tree, and became what they became after many years. Use the power of the sacred tree to mass-produce them and increase their value. Don't make it too simple. Then what should we do now? What are the countermeasures of other villages? Sasuke looked at Tsunade. Already taking action, soon the ninjas from the 5 major countries will gather. This is an unprecedented time. Tsunade's eyes were bright, showing a hint of expectation. The ninja who rules the 5 major nations is the supreme right in the ninja world. She will transform from the Hokage and become the queen of the ninja world. He glanced at Sasuke. He was able to secure this position because of Sasuke's contribution. It was him who shocked Tsuchikage, his relationship with Terumime, and his help to Tsunagaku. Thinking of this, Tsunade's eyes showed a trace of interest. Sasuke, now that you are the queen with the highest status in the ninja world, don't you want to? Tsunade blew hot breath into his ear. Queen, isn't she amazing? Sasuke raised the corners of his mouth, the queen must also accept punishment. As he said that, he smiled and rushed forward. Rain Shinobi Village. Conan looked at the planetary devastation suspended in midair, and the uneasy feeling in his heart became stronger. Who on earth can control Nagato to use this trick? In Rain Shinobi Village, Nagato is the highest-ranking leader, and his subordinate Pain is even called a god. With his strength, no one should dare to provoke him. Conan stretched out his wings and quickly flew to the tower. Suddenly, the scene before her eyes made her burst into tears. Chapter 31. Konoha Village Meeting Room. At this moment, the faces of the other 4 figures were projected on the electronic screen. Tsunade, since you are the leader of the ninja coalition, it is up to you to start discussing the combat meeting. Gaara spoke. Well, let me explain briefly. Tsunade nodded slightly, then spread out the map. According to information from the intelligence force, about 100,000 white Zetsu were cultivated. At this moment, they are landing from an island stronghold deep in the ocean of the Akatsuki organization. It is expected that within 10 days at the latest, we will be able to impact the territory of our 5 major ninja villages. Tsunade pointed to a red mark above and said. Furthermore, based on their route, it can be inferred that they want to take a different path and directly cut off the 5 major ninja villages that surround us. Tsunade talked eloquently and began to introduce the situation. Humph, you are so arrogant, you dare to disperse your troops. Raikage snorted coldly. Although he said this, the faces of the other 4 figures were not relaxed. After all, 100,000 white Zetsu is too much. Moreover, they did not understand the situation at all against this strange enemy, and they were even more unsure. Well, it seems we must not let them form an encirclement, otherwise we will lose. Onoki also put aside his grudge at this time and spoke. That's right, we must take the initiative to cut off their path forward. Terumi May also saw the key point. Okay, let's first arrange the composition of the various units of the Ninja Alliance. Tsunade said, the first major unit is captained by Hitaki Kakashi. The second largest unit, the captain is Kazekage Gaara. The third largest unit, the captain is Cloud Shinobi Darui. In addition, there is a medical unit, with Shizune as the captain for the time being. The sensing force is commanded by Yi Yamanaka Hai. As for the intelligence unit, Mist Shinobi has Aolai, who is good at investigating, as the captain. Tsunade quickly arranged everything. Seeing this, the other 4 shadows nodded slightly. Tsunade is indeed very courageous and capable of action, and he has arranged the various units of the Ninja Alliance very well. Suddenly, at this moment, news came from the staff in charge of projection. Tsunade-sama, Mifune from the Iron Country just applied to join the meeting. See the picture. Tsunade's eyes lit up. Contact him immediately. Soon, Mifune with long white hair and a bandage appeared on the screen. Tsunade, after a meeting within the Kingdom of Iron, we also decided to lead all samurai to join the war. Mifune spoke. This news immediately made all the 5 shadows, including Tsunade, overjoyed. They are worried that they don't have enough troops to deal with white Zetsu. Although the warriors of the Iron Kingdom are not too strong. But if you also master the chakra knife, its lethality is still considerable. It shouldn't be a problem to deal with those weak white Zetsu. Okay, Mifune, you are welcome to join. You will personally lead the samurai force. How about it? Tsunade looked at him and said. Okay, Mifune nodded slightly. A crowded ninja alliance stronghold. Here, the great ninjas from all over the world gathered. When there are more people, it will naturally become noisy and full of people. The largest unit of the Ninja Alliance is actually held by that young boy Gaara. He doesn't take other people seriously. One of Iwagakure's ninja said loudly. That's right, even Feng Ying is too young after all. Let's not talk about his strength. Is his strategy enough? The companion on the side also said loudly. Iwagakure is very different from Hidden Sand Village. During the Ninja World War, the 2 sides fought fiercely, causing a lot of casualties. There is a lot of hatred between the ninjas on both sides, so naturally no one is convinced by the other. When they heard that Gaara was the captain of the first team, they were immediately angry. After all, the nominal leader of the entire coalition is Hokage Tsunade. Although they can understand, Tsunade, as the leader, rarely takes action personally. But why decentralize power to Gaara? It's hard for them to feel at ease with such a young boy. Ha, Lord Cascage is not a brat, don't mistake him for one of those brats in your village. Yes, not long ago, the Akatsuki organization attacked us at Sunagakur. Thanks to Mr. Casecage's timely action, no damage was caused. Sunagakur's ninja immediately retorted, "Humph, a brat is a brat, no matter how many nice things you say, it's of no use." "What did you say? Show some respect to Lord Casecage." "What, you Sunagakur want to find trouble? We can stay with you until the end." Within a few words, both sides became angry. If it weren't for the formation of the coalition forces, terror would have almost started on the scene. Well, it seems it's not that easy to trust each other. Not far away, Kakashi took in everything inside. The hatred caused by years of war is not easy to eliminate. Casecage Gaara stood on the stage and also frowned. It's hard to lead a team, especially the ninja villages that fought against each other in the previous ninja world wars. Years of war have long made them believe that the other is the enemy. How could it be possible to change so quickly? Sasuke, I leave the command of this operation to you. Backstage of the coalition, Tsunade said with a smile. Hey, you didn't announce this news until now, aren't you afraid of other people's objections? Sasuke smiled slightly. What are you afraid of? I am the leader of the coalition, of course I have this right. What's more, among the entire coalition, who is your opponent now? If you dare to oppose, your head will be knocked off by him. Tsunade said half-jokingly. There seems to be a noise outside. Come on, let's go take a look. Tsunade's ears moved and he heard the noise outside, and quickly led Sasuke onto the stage. Then, he announced the news to the tens of thousands of ninjas in the audience. This operation is under the unified command of Uchiha Sasuke. Tsunade's words made everyone present slightly shocked, and then noisy discussions broke out. What, Uchiha Sasuke? Isn't this guy smaller than Gaara? Let him be the commander-in-chief. Where will the rest of us put the face of him? Damn, one after another, they are all brats, can you arrange someone more reliable? I heard that there are members of the Uchiha tribe on the side of the Akatsuki organization that started the war. Ah, that's too scary. How can we hand over the command to him? Tsunade, the Hokage of Konoha, really prefers their village. Dissatisfaction, comments, complaints, all kinds of sounds were transmitted instantly. Tsunade's face darkened slightly on the stage. I said, this is not a discussion, but an order given to you. Tsunade roared. Sasuke shook his head slightly, but this would not deter others. Suddenly, a purple skeleton slowly stretched out from Sasuke's body. Soon, a huge Susanoo, covered in Crow Tengu armor and with an amazing breath, appeared. Purple Susan stretched out his hand and pointed to the people below. With me as the commander, who is in favor and who is against? Suddenly, the ninja alliance scene was quiet. Susanoo, formed from Sasuke's huge chakra, is extremely powerful. It exuded a terrifying aura that made everyone present tremble in their hearts. Especially, the moment I looked into Sasuke Mangekyo Sharingan's eyes, it seemed like my soul was penetrated. Those ninjas who originally raised doubts couldn't help but start to retreat in front of Sasuke. Then, his legs softened and he sat paralyzed on the ground. Why, don't you have any objections to me? Now stand up and tell me. Sasuke looked at everyone present with cold eyes. No one present dared to offer a rebuttal. Just kidding, in the face of such a powerful Susan, if you dare to stand up and be a thorn, I'm afraid you will be photographed into a pulp. Awesome, so cool, Sasuke. Below, there is a look of fangirling. Not just her, but many female ninjas in Konoha village. Hinata, Tiantian, Anko, Shion and others also showed excited expressions. Even many female ninjas from other ninja villages couldn't help but feel their hearts beat faster when they saw such a courageous Sasuke. There was a hint of shyness on his face. In the ninja world, strength is the most important thing. Sasuke used Susanoo to shock everyone, and with his handsome appearance. Suddenly, many kunoichi present were excited. The corners of Kakashi's mouth raised slightly. Sasuke is getting stronger and stronger, well, he is worthy of being his student. So handsome, Sasuke. Damn it, he made a lot of limelight again. Ya touched his nose and said unwillingly. HMPH, This time, I will definitely make great contributions in the war, and maybe I can inherit the position of Hokage. Beside, Ya's mother was speechless. You idiot, don't underestimate the cruelty of war. It's good to be able to come back alive. Shino next to him also nodded slightly. Ya, it's better to keep a low profile. It's not a good thing to attract the enemy's attention, unless you are as powerful as Sasuke. Shino whispered. That's right, Ya, when compared with Sasuke, everyone will be inferior. Ino smiled slightly. Very good, it seems you all have no objections. Tsunade smiled. Sure enough, Sasuke's intimidation did not disappoint. Okay, in that case, let's bring the forehead protector unified by Jonin's coalition forces first, and then prepare to set off. Upon seeing this, Sasuke immediately gave the order. The stronghold of the Akatsuki organization. At this moment, Obito put on another white mask. His eyes, a Sharingan, a Rinnegan. Apparently, he has inherited Rinnegan's powers. Orochimaru, let's start now. Obito looked back coldly. Suddenly, his cold eyes shocked Orochimaru. Good. Orochimaru nodded hoarsely, quickly cast the summoning technique. As a large amount of white smoke came out, brand new coffins appeared in front of the two people. Kaka, with the coffin slabs opened. The impure world reincarnation ninja inside is revealed. Hey, let me introduce you first, this time the Dirty Soil turned member. First, the members of the Hara Akatsuki organization, Deidara, Kakuzu, Scorpion, and Nagato. Then, the Cage from the previous generation, 3rd Raikage, 2nd Tsuchikage, and 3rd Hokage. Orochimaru sneered. 3rd Hokage, if I remember correctly, he should be your teacher. Obito showed a hint of surprise. Yes, Sarutobi Hiruzen was once my teacher, but that is in the past. HMPH, wouldn't it be interesting to let the 3rd Hokage destroy Konoha? Orochimaru looked at the coffin in front of him and said with a smile. Orochimaru, you are such a bastard. Obito looked at him coldly. To each other, Obito, you can't be any better. Orochimaru responded. After knowing Obito's identity, he also investigated. It turns out that the 4th Hokage couple died during the Nine Tails Rebellion that attacked Konoha more than 10 years ago. These are all written by Obito. When it comes to killing teachers, this guy who took the lead did it even better. Obito was slightly silent and motioned to continue. Next, there are the original Jinchuriki. Except for me, 1 tail, 8 tails and 9 tails, all the other Jinchuriki are already here. Orochimaru introduced Obito. 4th Mizukage Yagura, 4 tails Jinchuriki Lousy, 5 tails Jinchuriki, etc. All gathered here. The original Jinchuriki. Obito's eyes lit up slightly. Orochimaru, give me the control of these guys. I suddenly had an idea. Okay, it's the same to me anyway. Orochimaru nodded slightly. Finally, there are the famous ninjas in history, such as Golden Horn and Silver Horn, the former 7 ninja swordsmen, and the bloody successor ninjas of K Village. Of course, there are also my lovely men, Uchiha Sasuke, who will soon seek revenge on you. Orochimaru's eyes were cold. Very well, let them go, the war has begun. My eyes are also eager to fight. Obito's eyes narrowed slightly, revealing a dangerous aura. In dense jungle, the impure world reincarnation army was released by Orochimaru. They also slowly regained consciousness, but their bodies were still involuntary. Rush quickly towards the intended target. Mr. Zabuza, we seem to have been resurrected. Bai looked down at his hands and said. He remembered that he died at the hands of a violent Naruto. Moreover, he could detect abnormalities in his body, which were not the flesh and blood of a living person. Probably impure world reincarnation, the forbidden technique developed by 2nd Hokage in Sleepy Leaf Village. Said the explosion-style ninja on the side. In this situation, they probably want to use us to start a war. Oh, it's really troublesome to face this kind of thing as soon as you were resurrected. Explosion-style ninja Carry spoke. Even the dead are exploited and the guy hiding behind the scenes is really disgusting. Besides, it's so unpleasant to be controlled by him. Zabuza spoke. Now he doesn't quite understand the situation, and still feels instinctively disgusted. I don't know what's going on in Uenian village now. Terumi May and the others, have they succeeded in stopping the 4th Mizukage? Before that, he had teamed up with Ghost Light Mangetsu and others to take action against 4th Mizukage. The result failed, and in the end I had no choice but to jump out of the water. However, Terumi Mei and others did not take action and continued to lurk, waiting for opportunities. Mr. Zabuza, you are already dead, so don't worry about this. Bai opened his mouth and said, let's think about how to get rid of control. 11. Humph, it's really troublesome. Zabuza looked unhappy. Has he been resurrected? Scorch-style Ninja Pakula's eyes lit up. This time, I won't be so naive anymore. At this moment, a burning desire for revenge burned in her chest. Everyone in Impure World Reincarnation has different thoughts and keeps rushing towards the battlefield. Ninja Alliance Base Camp. Following Sasuke's order, several mighty troops separated. They continued to kill Xiao's stronghold. This is the plan of the coalition forces, strike first to gain the upper hand. Once the White Zetsu form an encirclement, they will cooperate with the immortal body of the Impure World Reincarnation Army. In the Ninja Alliance, those ordinary Genin and Chunin will be very dangerous. After all, any ninja from Impure World Reincarnation has a tough immortal body and a chakra that can recover infinitely. Some Genin, even Chunin, if they don't know the sealing ninjutsu. So, facing Impure World Reincarnation, there is almost no way to deal with it. Even if they are stronger, as living people, their limited chakra capacity and flesh and blood bodies are their weaknesses after all. Fighting with the filthy ninja, in the end, he could only consume the chakra alive and die. Only under the leadership of stronger elite ninjas can these ninjas form an encirclement, gradually encroach and annihilate all White Zetsu. The final victory in the war. Mid-air, Sai used ninjutsu and drew a giant ink and ink eagle, flying forward with them. Along with Sai, there was Konkuro, the Byakugan member of the Hyuga clan, Kamen, and the insect controller of the Aburame clan. On the ground, there are other members advancing rapidly. Everyone, listen up, our main task as the vanguard is to spy on the enemy. It does not require how much damage it can cause to the enemy, but it must be clear about the general information. Konkuro said to several other team members. In this team, Sai's Super Beast Ninja painting is enough to carry them forward quickly and has great maneuverability. Plus Byakugan, who has powerful detection ability, and another team member with perception ability. It is enough for them to go deep into the enemy's hinterland and quickly detect intelligence. It is best to have a general understanding of the enemy before the two armies engage in battle. In this way, tactics can be better formulated to help the coalition forces win more easily. Suddenly, Konkuro noticed Zuo Kai's slightly trembling hands. What's wrong, Sai? At this time, we must not make any mistakes. Sai forced a smile. I'm just a little nervous. After all, our operation may be related to the direction of the entire war. Aren't you nervous? Sai asked Konkuro in return. Maybe, but at this time, I can only focus all my energy on fighting. After all, the people standing behind us are all family members and friends of Ninja Village. Konkuro said looking forward. In a dark stronghold, Orochimaru looked at the summoned Impure World Reincarnation ninjas. Well, according to Obito's wishes, you guys will take the lead. Launch an attack from the air as a feint to disrupt the opponent's plan. Orochimaru ordered. Hey, isn't it? As a formal member of the Akatsuki organization, I actually want to listen to you, a traitor. Deidara looked unhappy. Behind him, there is also Scorpion, the sentient ninja Zangyoshi, and a member who originally belonged to the Root. What is the purpose of this outfit? You are the Akatsuki organization. If you don't tell me, I won't. Before Zangyoshi could finish his words, he was interrupted by Orochimaru performing a spell. You are too noisy, you should just become a puppet. Orochimaru said in a hoarse voice. Speaking of which, apart from me, I didn't expect that you, Brother Shie, would also die. Besides, are you the only one left in the entire Akatsuki organization? Deidara pouted. Brother Scorpion, you also said that you want to become an eternal art. If it is different, you will die. I have said it a long time ago, there is no such thing as eternity, instant explosion is the highest art. Deidara, shut up, be careful with me. Shie said coldly to him. Brother Scorpion, don't forget, we are all dead. Orochimaru saw this and sighed. You two, can you stop arguing? Orochimaru looked helpless. Isn't this art duo's discussion on this subject fruitless even after their death? Okay, let's do it quickly, Orochimaru urged. Although Deidara was reluctant, he used the explosive field to release a giant eagle. Then, he quickly left the stronghold with the other 3 people. Just let them leave like this, are you sure nothing will go wrong? Obito turned to look at Orochimaru. HMPH, the dead of impure world reincarnation probably still haven't severed their bonds. Keeping them conscious may have miraculous effects. Of course, this is just my experiment. It is also my first time to apply impure world reincarnation on such a large scale. However, at a critical moment, I can use ninjutsu to suppress their will and regain control. Just take a look first, Orochimaru explained to Obito. In addition, I have to go to a quiet place. Controlling so many puppets is very mentally draining. Orochimaru whispered. Well, it just so happens that I'm about to start taking action. As a promise of this war, once the ninja coalition is defeated, I will hand Sasuke over to you. Obito glanced at him. That's good. Orochimaru stuck out his tongue and slowly licked his lips. Giant clay eagles soar in the sky. Damn Orochimaru, after resurrecting me, he never gave me a chance to replenish the clay. With just this amount of clay, I'm afraid it won't last long. Deidara complained silently. HMPH, after you are used by him, you will be put into a coffin immediately, don't even think about it. Shie said with a cold snort. Brother Scorpion, the same goes for you. There is a human puppet that you are proud of. Deidara smiled awkwardly. The puppet master doesn't have puppets, so he probably won't be able to exert much power. Brother Scorpion, maybe you are weaker than me now. Asshole Deidara, are you looking for death? Scorpion scolded. Actually, Deidara is right. The most powerful of the Crimson Sand Scorpions are all kinds of human puppets. And, the puppet mechanism ninjutsu he arranged in advance. Losing these, plus he is the body of impure world reincarnation. Scorpion's strength can't be used even by half. He could only temporarily find ordinary ninjas to act as puppets. Suddenly, many flying insects appeared in midair. They are still flying around several people. I hate bugs, and they hide and hide. It's really annoying. Deidara stretched out his hand to drive him away. Suddenly, Zongji next to him spoke. These are not ordinary flying insects, but controlled by ninjas. Because the chakra on these bugs interferes with my perception. Came his mechanical voice. I see, is it the enemy's reconnaissance team? While Deidara was thinking, suddenly, 2 giants transformed from ink paintings punched them from midair. Deidara couldn't dodge. Several people, together with the clay eagle beneath them, quickly fell from midair. Soon, several people hit the ground heavily. As soon as I said that, they moved really fast. Deidara and others stood up. There were wounds of varying degrees on their bodies. If it were a flesh and blood body, it would probably suffer considerable damage if it fell from a high altitude. But due to impure world reincarnation, the body is healing quickly. They actually use bugs to interfere with perception. These guys are pretty good at it. Deidara spoke. Of course, after all, they were resurrected by impure world reincarnation, so their strength is still far behind compared to before they were alive. In terms of perception, it is even worse. Oh, it's our old rival, the Red Sand Scorpion. Kankuro and his group appeared in front of them. It turns out it's you, Sunagaker Kid. You're lucky enough to save one. Scorpion smiled. Humph, this time, let's compete again. Kankuro's eyes turned cold. Return to 0, move. In an instant, several ninjas behind him rushed forward. Remember, Deidara's weakness is lightning style. Once his explosive clay is infused with lightning style chakra, he will become a mute. Kankuro reminded loudly. Damn bastard, you actually analyzed my art to this point. Deidara gritted his teeth and released a large number of clay spiders. Deidara, you damn bastard, you attacked Iwagakure again, this time I must seal you completely. Said one Jonin from Iwagakure. Last time, due to lack of flying means, Deidara flew away quickly after carrying out the attack, and they were unable to catch up. This time with Sai here, we must not let him go. He formed a seal with his hands and slapped them on the ground. Suddenly, a large number of rock spikes appeared on the ground, piercing the detonating clay in front of Deidara. Boom! The detonating clay exploded automatically under the attack of Earth-style ninjutsu. Didn't get close to them at all. However, in the smoke, a figure suddenly came toward them. That is, a member of the Ninja Alliance who lost contact before. Did you take advantage of the opportunity just now to break free? No, back away quickly, it's Scorpion's puppetry. Kankuro noticed immediately. This ninja's actions were very strange, as if his body was out of control. He just wanted to lead everyone back. However, several white Zetsu emerged from the ground and blocked their way. It's those disgusting white creatures. Go, Super Beast Mimima. At the critical moment, Sai moved like a painter. A giant lion appeared, jumped up quickly, and caught the rushing coalition ninja in its mouth. HMPH, art as explosion, so be damned. Drink. Deidara performs the one-hand seal. In the arms of this ninja controlled by Scorpion, the detonating clay exploded instantly. Earth-style, earthquake core. At a critical moment, the Iwagakure ninja takes action. Huge clods of earth rose from under his feet, instantly lifting him into the air. Boom! The violent explosion sent up a cloud of smoke. Kankuro and others covered their faces to avoid the rocks falling from the sky. Damn it, he actually installed explosives in his body. Zuo frowned after failing to save the ninja. Humph, stupid guy, just pay attention to that ninja. Deidara suddenly sneered. What? Kankuro and others were shocked. The next second, they saw several clay grasshoppers crawling out of the soil beneath them. This time, I will blow you up to pieces. Deidara was about to explode. Suddenly, a large number of thunder and lightning fell from the sky. Instantly mutes all clay explosives. Sorry, I'm late. Omoi from Cloud Shinobi Village appeared in front of Kankuro and others with several ninjas. Ha, you guys are moving too slowly. There is no way, the flight simulation is very fast, we can barely catch up. Omoi shook his head slightly. Go and get rid of them. Deidara roared, and the white Zetsu lurking around rushed towards him. Ninja technique, 3 days and moon slash. Omoi waved the long knife in his hand and instantly cut several Rijutsu heads into 2 pieces. Puppet mechanism, crow. Kankuro waved his hand, and the crow puppet with multiple arms threw out a large number of kunai. A piece of white Zetsu was shot instantly. Ah, these kunai are poisonous. Damn, several white Zetsu struggled and fell down. Ninja technique, super beast painting. Sai unfolded the scroll, and a huge lion roared, pushing away the surrounding white Zetsu. But at this moment, the familiar figure of Risho appeared. Sai, you have grown a lot. Shin praised. How could it be, brother, you are actually resurrected. Sai's eyes suddenly widened. Well, but this time we meet, we are still enemies. Shin took out the short sword. The two were about to meet each other in battle. Sai, back away, it's a trap. Hyuga Kamen shouted. Just now, he rolled his eyes and suddenly discovered that Shin's body was filled with a large amount of white explosives. Apparently, Deidara had already injected explosive clay into his body. Sai looked shocked when he heard this. Sure enough, at the moment they were about to make contact, Shin's body expanded rapidly. Boom! With a loud noise, a terrible explosion spread. The shock wave swept across and broke several large trees around it. What a risk. Fortunately, you used Earth style in time. Sai and Kankuro looked at the rock shinobi ninja on the side. At this moment, the land beneath them sank rapidly and was buried underground to avoid the attack. Deidara is flying in the air on a clay eagle. It's a pity that they escaped again, but Kankuro and others jumped out, and they saw at a glance that Nobu's body, which had been exploded without any bones left, began to reorganize rapidly. Soon it will be as good as new. HMPH, it's a pity that Impure World Reincarnation's body is immortal. With his body, I can explode infinitely, ha ha ha. Deidara said proudly. Asshole, don't be so proud of yourself. Sai's eyes widened. You know, the reason why he broke away from Danzo's hand was because of Shin's active sacrifice. But now, he is insulting the dead letter and using his body as a bomb. So what, my explosion is art, he should feel honored. Deidara said with an indifferent expression. But the next second, a huge shadow appeared above his head. He just looked up. A large eagle made of ink slammed into him. Deidara fell down again. But this time, Kankuro's puppet Black Ant opened its abdomen and swallowed him up instantly. Damn it, look at me exploding with art. Deidara was about to perform a ninjutsu. A knife with thunder and lightning was inserted through the gap of the puppet. Keep an eye on him. Asshole, let me out. Deidara yelled unwillingly. Explosive clay cannot be used, and he lacks powerful offensive moves. It's almost impossible to break through the hard golem. Finally I caught one, you guys are next. Kankuro looked at Shie and the others. See Deidara getting caught. The faces of Shie and the others also showed solemn expressions. Obviously, the strength of the opponent's vanguard force should not be underestimated. The remaining 10 or so people rushed forward. Hold them off. Xie Meng shook his hand, and several white Zetsu fell to the ground dead. The bodies were controlled by him and continued to attack Kankuro and the others. Yunliu, return and slash. Omoi waved the sword in his hand and instantly cut off the chakra thread in Deidara's hand. Can actually cut my chakra threads. Xie showed a hint of surprise and couldn't help but sigh, this Cloud Shadow Ninja's sword is really good. Well done Omoi. Kankuro smiled and waved his hand, and his chakra thread instantly connected to Scorpion. Then pull hard. Xia's body broke away from several people in an instant and fell heavily to the ground. This guy can actually connect to my chakra thread in an instant. It seems that your puppet control skills have improved a lot during this time. Scorpio looked at Kankuro the Prime Minister. HMPH, isn't it natural for a first-rate puppet master to achieve this level? But it is indeed an honor to be praised by the Red Sand Scorpion. Of course, thanks to Tony, I am much stronger now than I was 18 years ago. Kankuro quickly took out a scroll with a big scorpion written on it. This is. Scorpio's eyes narrowed slightly. Sure enough, there was a bang the next second. Xia's former puppet body was released by him. Secret skill of Red Sand, Scorpion of Red Sand. A smile appeared on Kankuro's lips. Got Scorpion's body, no, it should be the back of the puppet's head. Plus Grandma Chio's guidance during this period. Kankuro's skills have improved a lot, and he can not only control 3 puppets at the same time. Moreover, there is also the powerful Red Sand Scorpion among them. HMPH, even if it is my puppet, it has no soul, it is just a puppet after all. Even if we take him, how much strength can we use? The Red Sand Scorpion didn't take it seriously. Now that I have become a body of filthy earth, I truly have an immortal body and have become an eternal art. This is exactly how I wanted it to be. The Red Sand Scorpion said coldly. Kankuro didn't respond, but he saw something strange in Scorpion's eyes. Go. He waved his hand and quickly killed the puppet Scorpion whose body was full of traps. On the hands of puppet Scorpion, there are 2 sharp and rapidly rotating broadswords. Several controlled bodies of white Zetsu gathered around. But it was chopped off by the puppet Scorpion, and it was instantly cut into many pieces of flesh. Kankuro nodded slightly. Sure enough, without the powerful human puppet, Scorpion's strength is nothing to fear. The other side. Sai and Shin are also fighting fiercely. The 2 of them crossed paths, and Sai's brush swiped hard, almost knocking the short sword away from Nobu's hand. Sai, I haven't seen you for a few years, and your strength has really improved a lot. A smile appeared on Shin's face. It's so nice to see you again. Actually, I also want to see what your unfinished painting looks like. It's a pity that when we meet again it's like this. When the letter said this, a trace of sadness appeared on his face. Hearing this, Sai slowly stretched his hands to his waist, and then he threw away the picture album he was looking at. This is. I took the letter with some confusion. Open it and take a look, everything you want to see is there. Sai suddenly smiled. The letter trembled and opened the picture album, and sure enough, it recorded every detail of the 2 of them. A picture scroll records the scene when the 2 met. And at the end of the picture, it's Sai shaking hands with Shin to make peace. So, this is what you dreamed of. The letter showed a hint of relief, even in the dark place of the root organization. Sai still maintains that kindness in his heart. From the beginning to the end, the 2 of them never thought about fighting each other. The moment when the knot in the heart is untied, Shin's body suddenly emitted a misty white light. What's wrong? Are you going to blow yourself up again? No, Deidara has been captured by us. Logically speaking, it's impossible. Several ninjas behind Sai involuntarily stepped back. The scene where Shin blew himself up just now really left a psychological shadow on them. If Earth-style ninjutsu had not been used in time, few of the people present would have survived. However, Sai quickly stepped forward when he saw this scene. Danger, Sai, hurry up. Sai and Shin's eyes met. Brother, I'm going back, Sai, take my share and live well. Shin smiled, and soon after, his soul escaped from the filthy earth body. The white soul body took one last look at Sai. Then it quickly rose into the sky. Only the rotten corpse wrapped in sacrifices was left on the spot. Boom! The crimson sand scorpion fell to the ground in embarrassment. How is it possible that I would lose to you in a competition with puppet power? He quickly got up, somewhat unbelievable. No, it's not that I have become much stronger, but that you are too weak compared to before. Your real strength lies in having a complete and independent soul. Maybe you once wanted to get rid of your flesh and blood body and become a real puppet, but no matter what, you can't erase the soul that belongs to humans. It is precisely because of this that your puppetry skills are so superb. It is also because the puppets you create contain the soul of the technician. Kankuro paused, disappointment showing on his face. But you, who were once so powerful, have now become someone else's puppet. Kankuro made a loud noise, which shocked Xie. How can a top-notch puppet master be willing to be controlled by others and become a pawn in battle? A puppet controlled by others, I will never lose to you no matter what. Kankuro yelled at him. Scorpion closed his eyes. Yes, you said. As soon as this war started, he had no desire to fight. Because Scorpion knows very well in his heart that he has become Orochimaru's puppet. The pride and self-esteem in his heart had been exhausted long before the battle began. Kankuro, a real Scorpion will never become a puppet. Until this moment, he finally understood what eternal art is. Looking at the Scorpion puppet in Kankuro's hand, it seems that the skills of controlling puppets, the technology of creating puppets, and the spirit that lives in the puppets and is passed down from generation to generation are the eternal and immortal art. When Scorpion said this, his whole body also emitted a white light. What's wrong, brother Scorpion? Don't be fooled by their sweet words. We finally resurrected, are we going to be sealed again like this? Deidara's voice came from the black ant puppet. That's enough, Deidara, I think I understand what true art is. After Scorpion left these words, the soul instantly turned into white light and disappeared on the battlefield. The moment Scorpion left, a voice echoed in Kankuro's ears. Kankuro, my puppet father and mother are also entrusted to you. After you die, please entrust him to the next successor. They have special meaning to me. Kankuro nodded slightly. Don't worry, Scorpion, I understand. On the battlefield, Scorpion Impure World Reincarnation's corpse quickly began to disintegrate after losing the support of its soul. Soon, it turned into dust, revealing the body of White Zetsu hidden inside. Saw several others being defeated one after another. The remaining sentient ninja, Nakayoshi, quickly retreated to the rear. Several others were about to give chase, but were stopped by Kankuro. Forget it, stop chasing him, there's a trap. We won this encounter, mainly because we had to pass on the intelligence. Kankuro said, waving his hand. That's. Suddenly, he noticed the condition of the tomb mound. What, the sacrifice inside is actually this kind of white creature. Kankuro and Sai approached with a hint of surprise on their faces. Shouldn't Impure World Reincarnation require human sacrifices? Why are they? And, what happened just now? The Iwagakure ninja on the side asked. Could it be that the magician took the initiative to unlock Impure World Reincarnation? Otherwise, how could they? I don't know, there are many secrets in Impure World Reincarnation that we don't know. Perhaps it's because the soul has broken free from its shackles. Kankuro said with a frown. Just now, Scorpio's soul was able to ascend to heaven only after untying the knot in his heart. Anyway, let's pass the information here to the headquarters first, including the situation of Impure World Reincarnation. Kankuro ordered. Yes, the rest of the vanguard responded. In a dark cave. It's really surprising. I didn't expect to be able to break away from Impure World Reincarnation. Orochimaru licked his lips, his eyes dark. However, he is also very clear that one of the main reasons is that he controls too many Impure World Reincarnation players. Therefore, the ability to control each individual is reduced. Moreover, will there be such a risk in giving them personal consciousness? Quote. Orochimaru also concluded secretly, although he used impure world reincarnation when he invaded Konoha. But in normal times, there are not many opportunities to use it. It just so happens that this war will allow me to collect a lot of useful information and perfect the ninjutsu of impure world reincarnation. Next, it's time for the main course. Orochimaru didn't take the failure of the vanguard seriously. Anyway, he now has a lot of chess pieces. What's more, for this war, his main purpose is not to win, but revenge on Uchiha Sasuke. Take his body. As long as the goal can be achieved, even if the war fails, it is not a big deal. When the time comes, it's Uchiha Madara and the others who should be worried. As a result, Orochimaru continued to control others. Impure world reincarnation, so powerful. In the forest, Uchiha Obito kept moving forward, thinking silently in his heart. Not long ago, when he left, he deliberately asked Orochimaru to explain the secret of impure world reincarnation. According to Orochimaru, impure world reincarnation was originally developed by second Hokage Senju Tobirama. At that time, he just wanted to use his immortal body to complete the infinite explosive ninjutsu of the detonating talisman. But I didn't expect that after continuous improvement, the ninjas swapped out in impure world reincarnation are getting stronger and stronger, even close to those in life. Especially when he uses white zetsu as a living sacrifice. Even powerful blood successors like Mangekyo Sharingan and Rinnegan can be resurrected intact. Orochimaru is an unstable factor. After all, being able to control so many powerful impure world reincarnation ninjas means their strength should not be underestimated. Once he is given greater power, he may escape control like Sasuke and Nagato. Forget it, as long as I achieve my goal, I will soon appear as Sage of Six Paths. At that time, all resistance will be in vain. Uchiha Obito has sharp eyes. The other side, Tsunade and Sasuke also received the information from Kankuro. So, on the huge Chaklin perception ball, they began to map the enemy's power distribution. Ching frowned slightly. Hokage-sama, those creatures called White Zetsu are moving through the underground on a large scale. It seems that they want to use underground sneaking to bypass our large army and go to the rear to carry out destruction, or even besiege the village and daimyo. Qingqiao and the others spoke. Use Earth-style ninjutsu. Sasuke thought for a moment and said, let the powerful Earth-style ninjas from Iwakage village take action to get the White Zetsu out of the ground. That's right, let the sensing troops contact Lois immediately. Tsunade's eyes lit up and he immediately ordered. Understood, Hokage-sama. Soon, Tsunade and Sasuke's orders were quickly decentralized to the front line by sensing the troops. And Huang Tu is the captain of the 4th Brigade. The intelligence personnel in the team immediately passed the news to him, including the direction in which White Zetsu is heading, and the general range. Has the information finally arrived? Huang Tu slightly tilted his head, looking like his own daughter. Come here Kuretsuchi. Use that move to dig out the enemy. Okay, Dad, we haven't used it together for a long time. Kuretsuchi stepped forward and the two of them formed seals at the same time. Earth style, dig into the earth. The yellow earth and black earth slap the ground with both hands to condense, and chakra quickly pours into the ground. Rumble. In front of the forest, a huge volcanic-like piece of soil slowly rose up. Massive amounts of white zetsu quickly erupted from the crater. Oops, it's Earth-style ninjutsu. Many white zetsu were shocked. Be careful, the Chinese are about to appear. Huang Tu shouted to the large army behind. It's time to take action, everyone, kill all these enemies. Kuretsuchi took the lead, leading a large number of ninjas behind him to rush towards white zetsu in front. Kill them. These disgusting white creatures, Nuola, are not human beings. Whatever, they are all enemies, Takumi. Accompanied by fierce shouts, ninjas from each village used their methods to kill him. Hinata, follow me later, be careful. Hyuga Neji whispered. Yes, brother Neji. At this time, Ya and Shino also rushed over from the side. Ya, you guys came so fast. 11. Hinata opened her eyes and whispered. HMPH, how could our Class 8 be absent from this ninja war? Let's go. Kiba confessed to Akamaru, and then used Gotoga, quickly knocking down several white Zetsu in front of him. Chongyu, go! Shino also waved his hand. A large number of parasites quickly surrounded the few white Zetsu in front and began to eat their chakra. 8 trigrams, empty palm. Neji struck out with a palm, instantly blowing away the white Zetsu in front of him. The frontal battlefield is about to break out. Mid-air. Sai and the others sat on the eagle and stared carefully below. Found it, it's the Impure World Reincarnation Ninja. Sai and Konkuro had smiles on their faces. Fortunately, I have the ability to fly. Not only my mobility is greatly enhanced, but I can also attack the enemy from a high position. Sai, it's a wise choice to let you join the vanguard. Konkuro smiled and praised. Before, if it weren't for Sai's ninjutsu, it would have been very difficult for them to catch Deidara and the others in midair, let alone successfully seal them. Let's take action and deal with them first. As Sai spoke, they quickly prepared their ninja tools and then began to lower their altitude. Bye, these big birds in the sky seem a bit strange. In the forest, several people in Zabuza raised their heads. Suddenly, dense kunai shot down from the sky. No, it's an enemy. Get out of the way. Several people dodged subconsciously, try to avoid kunai attacks. Suddenly, they smelled something burning. When he looked up, he suddenly discovered that many of the attacking kunai were still hung with detonating talismans. Boom! A violent explosion spread. In the forest, many trees collapsed in the explosion. Mr. Zabuza, are you okay? Shiro used the ice release ninjutsu to form a thick ice barrier, blocking the attack. Pakula and Carrie on the side were affected by the explosion. The dust on their bodies quickly gathered and healed their wounds. Bye, you don't need to be so nervous. I almost forgot that we are all immortal. Zabuza stood up and said. Kunai's attack had no effect on their dirty soil before. However, as ninjas, they unconsciously avoid attacks. No, not necessarily. Pakula on the side spoke. Once hit head-on by the detonating talisman, the body will probably be blown to pieces and will not be able to recover in a short period of time. It's hard to say they won't take the opportunity to come down and seal us. Carria on the side nodded. In midair, Sai and the others frowned. They were actually defended. These Impure World Reincarnation ninjas are extraordinary in strength. Sai and the others secretly thought. Let's not talk about Shiro, who uses ice escape ninjutsu. Facing the large-scale detonating talisman attack, Pakula and the two moved very quickly. Quickly avoided the center of the explosion. If it is a flesh and blood body, it will still be injured due to the aftermath of the explosion. But now, it is almost unable to cause effective damage. Well, let's send a signal first. It's not that easy to seal them. Konkuro said to Hyuga Kamen standing aside. Okay. He quickly lit up the smoke. In the clear sky, the conspicuous red smoke can be seen by the large troops in the distance. Sure enough, within a moment, the first large force led by Kakashi immediately discovered it. It seems that reinforcements are needed. Guy, let's go first, and the others will follow quickly. Kakashi ordered immediately. Afterwards, several people rushed in the direction of Sai and others. Well, it's not easy to attack from such a height. Pakula spoke. Do you only have long-range attack methods? She looked at Zabuza and the other three and said. Well, wait a minute, I will take action when I see the opportunity. Bai said while observing the air carefully. Sai, continue attacking with the detonating talisman and see if you can incapacitate them. Konkuro suggested, and the others nodded. Soon, Sai took out his picture scroll and quickly drew several fast-moving flying snows. This time, it's a tracking bomb. The corners of Sai's mouth raised slightly, and then he let the birds carry the detonating talisman and rush downward quickly. Here it comes, it seems to be more difficult. Pakula's eyes narrowed. She could tell that this attack might have a tracking and positioning function. Water style, just like the garden. Zabuza immediately used his ninjutsu, and thick white mist rose from the forest, covering the traces of several people. Rumble. The flying bird lost its target and exploded quickly. Part of the white fog around them was blown away, and Konkuro and the others could faintly see a few people. Suddenly, just as Sai and the others were flying over a white cloud. The opportunity has come. Bai below immediately formed a seal with his hands. Ice escape, magic mirror ice crystal. With the help of water vapor in the clouds, Bai's figure appeared in the ice mirror behind them. Attack immediately. The ink bird under several people exploded instantly. No, I'm going to fall, be careful. Sai's expression changed. It would be dangerous to fall to the ground from such a high altitude. The moment he is about to fall to the ground. At the critical moment, Kankuro used the puppet ninjutsu. The three-headed puppet immediately released its mechanism and surrounded the tall trees around it. The ropes hung their bodies, and several people landed safely on the ground with the help of the buffering force. But the next second, Zabuza and several others quickly approached. The enemy is coming, be careful. Kankuro reminded. No, they are Sunagaku's Scorch-style Ninja Pakula, and Explosion-style Ninja Hunter. And that ice-bending ninja, you can't be wrong, they are all Bloodline-limited ninjas. Iwagakure, and several others said in shock. The Bloodline ninja represents weirdness and power. Generally speaking, even Jonin only masters 2 chakra nature transformations individually. As for the blood inheritance boundary, many of them are the result of the fusion of chakra properties. For example, Pakula's Scorch style is produced by the fusion of wind and fire attributes chakra. It does not belong to any of the basic 5 types of ninjutsu and will not be restrained by the 5 types of ninjutsu. More importantly, it possesses some properties of both wind and fire chakras. For example, Burning Shield is more lethal than fire style. It can instantly evaporate the water in the enemy's body, and it is very powerful. As long as this kind of ninja with the blood inheritance limit continues to grow, he can usually become a Jonin. And it is quite difficult to deal with Jonin, so it is no wonder that the other people are a little scared. HMPH, please, I have no bloodline limit. Zabuza snorted coldly. Mr. Zabuza, it seems, no one is listening to you, why? Bai said from the side. No, it seems to have started. Bai and Pakula all felt that their bodies were not in control. In an instant, several bright and hot fireballs appeared around Pakula's body. As she waved, the burning shield ninjutsu flew forward instantly. Sorry, although there is no injustice or grudge, my body acted on its own. Get out of the way. Kankuro yelled. Including him, several other people moved quickly and quickly dispersed around. The Scorch-style fireball hit the big tree and burst into flames instantly. The moment Sai landed, Zabuza fell from the sky, and the huge machete slashed at him. Sai's pupils shrank. At this moment, it was too late for him to use ninjutsu. Clang! Suddenly a figure flashed in front of him. Kakashi held a kunai and blocked Zabuza's attack. Fortunately, I finally caught up. Kakashi turned his head slightly and looked at Sai behind him. Teacher Kakashi, thank you for your help. Seeing this, Sai felt relieved. With Kakashi's strength, he will never be inferior to the opponent. Sai, the chakra has been consumed a lot, you go to the rear to rest first. As for the enemy in front of you, leave it to me. Kakashi spoke. Sai nodded slightly and quickly retreated. The previous confrontation with the opponent's vanguard, as well as the consumption of your battle just now. It really wore him out. I didn't expect to meet you again, Kakashi. Zabuza showed a hint of excitement in his eyes. At this moment, Bai jumped up from behind and came over with a kunai in hand. Mr. Kakashi, be careful. Before Bai finished speaking, a green figure flashed out. Leaf strong whirlwind. Might Guy swept his legs, kicked Bai away, and hit the big tree behind him hard. Kakashi, your movements are so fast. But don't forget, there is me, the blue beast of Konoha. Might Guy showed a confident smile. Kakashi used his right hand hard to force Zabuza back. He took a few steps back and stood next to Bai. Kakashi glanced at several people, his brows slightly raised. Apart from Demon Zabuza, are the other 3 also blood successor ninjas? Guy, they look tough. Kakashi whispered. Don't worry, if the 2 of us join forces, we will definitely have no problem dealing with them. Might Guy landed next to him. I never thought that I would fight you again in this war, Kakashi. Although, I don't want to fight you, but the situation is a bit complicated. I will be with them as soon as I wake up. Originally, I should have died in the Kingdom of Waves. Zabuza shook the sword in his hand. Well, I was summoned by the impure world reincarnation. It seems I couldn't help it. Kakashi sighed. At this moment, many ninjas came from behind. Reinforcements are here, by the way, Kakashi, how are the brats under you? Zabuza asked. For Nine Tails Jinchuriki Naruto, and Sasuke who has a Sharingan. He was extremely impressed. Don't worry, they will grow into outstanding ninjas. Now Sasuke is the commander of this battle. Kakashi smiled. Oh, Zabuza and both of them were surprised. It seems that the descendant of Uchiha has become famous. Zabuza sighed. Furthermore, Sasuke also asked me to tell you that Kurigakure has bid farewell to the Blood Mist era. Now, Terumime will inherit 5th Mizukage. What, Kakashi, are you telling the truth? Zabuza's eyes showed shock. His dream had come true. That cruel and bloody era has passed. He has no regrets anymore. Of course, you can go on your way with peace of mind. Kakashi stared at him. Well, I shot you. Before Zabuza finished speaking, suddenly, a cold voice sounded from his mind. I didn't expect that you and Sasuke would also interact. Who are you? I am your controller. Don't worry, Sasuke will die in my hands. Now, you should be almost done reminiscing about the past. Orochimaru smiled sinisterly. It's time to take action. He quickly formed a seal, and the chakra in his body advanced, quickly eroding into the minds of several people. Mr. Kakashi, we are already dead, please stop us this time. Before he finished speaking, his eyes immediately fell into darkness. So fast, your consciousness has been completely taken away. The 4 people had blind eyes, held weapons, and used ninjutsu to quickly kill them. Their goal is, you should be careful. Kakashi shouted to the ninjas behind him. Come together and kill them. Seeing the 4 people rushing towards them, a large number of coalition ninjas rushed forward. Scorch style, steam to kill. Pakula approached a ninja and hit him in the chest with a palm. Instantly, Yinwang steam emerged from his body. He quickly turned into a mummy. What kind of ninjutsu is this? It's too scary. Many people were stunned for a while. Many people had never seen scorch-style ninjutsu. Don't give her a chance to breathe, seal her quickly in one breath. Suddenly, there was a loud shout. Several more ninjas surrounded and killed him. Around Pakula, several more scorch-style fireballs quickly condensed. It burst out at an alarming speed. Accompanied by bursts of shrill screams. Almost all ninjas touched by scorch-style ninjutsu were deprived of water and fell to the ground dead. It turned into a hideous mummy. Damn it, use long-range attacks quickly, don't get close to her. Many ninjas reacted and sent out their ninja tools. However, shurikens, kunai, etc. have a very slight impact on the body of the dirt. The Dirty Land ninja Carry punched a ninja's sword. Boom, a violent explosion. His whole body was blown into powder. What happened? Will he be blown up as soon as he touches him? Sweat broke out on the faces of several other ninjas. Just kidding, how do you fight this? After all, for most ninjas, using taijutsu to fight is the norm. This is explosion-style ninjutsu, explosion-style, Thunder Fist. This guy was once a member of the Iwagakure demolition team. A ninja from Iwagakure spoke, obviously knowing the details of Carry. Be careful, he can concentrate the chakra on his hand, and it will explode if touched. He shouted to the people around him. Not far away, Kakashi glanced. The same bloodline limit as Deidara of the Akatsuki organization. However, Deidara mixed chakra into explosive clay to make explosives. But this impure world reincarnation ninja directly released the chakra explosion. Obviously, Deidara's method is more obvious. After all, different forms of clay explosives have different properties. It is naturally more difficult to prevent it. Everyone, you first think of a way to control him with earth style, and then use the seal. Kakashi shouted to several people. However, at this time Bai had already come to kill him. Helpless, Kakashi can only deal with the enemy in front of him first. Just when Sho was about to take action on several other people. Earth style, earth flow wall. A huge wall of rock and earth stood in front of him, hindering his attack. Hey, you guys, don't be in a daze. It's normal to lose your teammates on the field, said one section of Iwagakure. Don't mess up your position, be calm, and only come up with calendar responses when facing the enemy. Don't let the sacrifice of your companions be in vain. Yes, I understand. The eyes of the remaining people became firm again. Earth style, Yellow Spring Marsh. Duan takes action again, trying to trap Carry. Boom. Carry punched his feet fiercely, and escaped from Kaji with the help of the impact of the explosion. On the other side, Bai cast his secret technique, Magic Mirror Ice Crystal. The whole person instantly disappeared into the ice mirror, avoiding Kakashi's attack. As this ice escaped, Kakashi showed a trace of solemnity, and Bai's speed was astonishingly fast in the crystal. Even his Sharingan is difficult to capture. Moreover, Kakashi's own speed can hardly keep up with Shiro at this moment. He thought for a while, quickly formed a seal, and released a huge great fireball that hit a large number of water mirrors in front. However, facing this blow, Ice Escape did not melt at all. Sure enough, it's difficult to restrain him with a single fire-style ninjutsu. Kakashi frowned. To break his ice release ninjutsu, he can only use his own Mangekyo Sharingan ability. Just then, Shiro quickly appeared from the ice mirror and attacked Kakashi. Konoha double whirlwind. Suddenly, Xiaoli and Might Guy appeared and kicked Bai back into the ice mirror again. Zero, Kakashi, be careful, we are not like them, we will be in trouble once we get injured. Might Guy reminded him. But, having said that, his ninjutsu is really difficult. Might Guy swings his nunchucks. Instantly shattered several ice mirrors in front of him. But the next second, they were intact again. Apparently, these ice mirrors have restorative powers due to Shiro's constant infusion of chakra. Guy, please help me, I have a ninjutsu that will take some time. Kakashi lifted up his forehead protector, revealing Sharingan. The two nodded slightly, watching Bai's movements carefully. As masters of physical skills, Might Guy and Xiaoji's reaction speed is far beyond that of ordinary ninjas. On the battlefield at this moment, only they could keep up with Bai, who was using his secret technique. In the ice mirror, a large number of steel needles appeared on Bai's hand. Immediately afterwards, he suddenly threw it towards the three people. Whoosh! A large number of steel needles came from the mirror at an alarming speed. Might Guy raised the corners of his mouth and shook the nunchaku in his hand. Suddenly, the nunchucks formed a fan-shaped area in front of them, blocking all attacks. HMPH, a little trick like this won't hurt us at all. Might Guy pretends to be provocative. Sure enough, the next second, Bai flew out of the ice mirror. 8 inner gates, open. In an instant, Xiaoli reacted and appeared behind him in a flash, although the bandage on his body was wrapped around him. Take the move, Lorenhua. In an instant, Xiaoli and Bai quickly fell from a high altitude and hit the ground heavily. Xiaoli jumped back a few steps and looked at him silently. Suffering this heavy blow, Bai's earthy body slowly disintegrated. But at the same time, some cracks began to heal on their own. It's useless at all, Xiaoli gasped, showing a hint of shock. His taijutsu was completely useless against this kind of ninjutsu that would automatically heal. Kakashi, Might Guy yelled. It's ready. Kakashi opened his eyes suddenly, and the Magatama in the Sharingan quickly merged and turned into a pinwheel shape. His vision focused on Shiro. Kamui. In an instant, the space around Bai began to distort, and then a space was formed. Bai's body was also broken into several pieces by this blow. When Kakashi saw this, he immediately formed a seal with his hands. Then, he stepped forward suddenly, while Bai's body was still healing. He slapped it with a palm. The next second, a black curse pattern appeared, completely sealing Bai. Finally solved one. Kakashi and others breathed a sigh of relief. Of course, with their strength, if they don't make any reservations and use all their strength, maybe it can seal a few people quickly. But in this case, their consumption will be very terrifying, and the next battle may not be able to continue. Obviously, this war will not end in a short time. Kakashi and the others still have to save a little calendar area. On the other side, in the white mist, Zabuza used assassination ninjutsu, and each ninja fell to his assassination. Boom! A scorching fireball erupted. Several more ninjas were burned into mummies. Boom! The violent explosion caused several ninjas' necks to carry to be blown to pieces. Damn it, they are immortal. How to deal with him? Use sealing techniques, but you have to restrict your movements first. With the skills of these ninjas, it is difficult to restrict their movements. Around them, many ninjas were retreating. Their strength is not as good as these blood successor ninjas. In addition, the other party has immortality. As well as the obstruction of the surrounding white fog, they were unable to form an encirclement. Many casualties soon appeared. What's more important is that the first large force from the rear has not arrived yet, leaving them passive. Allied Forces Command. Tsunade and Sasuke also received the message. The bloodline ninja is really troublesome. Tsunade frowned slightly. Well, there is no way. The strength of those ninjas participating in the war varies greatly. In addition, it is just a temporary team, and there is no cooperation at all. And the most important thing, fear. Sasuke spoke. Fear. Tsunade was a little confused, but quickly responded. That's right, the enemies they face are impossible to kill, and with each of their companions dying, the panic will indeed spread quickly. Sasuke rubbed his chin. However, my clone will arrive soon, blood successor ninja. He smiled, just to give himself a little more strength. Quickly, get out of the way, he's coming again. Facing Carrie's rampage, many ninjas hid in fear. They have already seen that an explosion will occur as soon as it is touched. Suddenly, a ninja fell to the ground. Carrie smiled and hit him with his fist. Seeing that he is about to die. Chirp, it was as if 1,000 birds were chirping. A sharp blue-white light blade fell from the sky, instantly cutting off Sho's arm. Sasuke dodged and stood in front of them. Hey, are you okay? Stand back. Sasuke turned to look at them. You are. Many ninjas present were shocked and knew that rescue was coming. Uchiha Sasuke, leave this place to me. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly. But facing Hunting, who was meters away, his eyes suddenly changed. You finally showed up, Sasuke. Orochimaru's eyes showed excitement. This voice is indeed yours. Orochimaru, your life is really tough, but now you can only hide in the corner like a mouse. Sasuke scoffed, waiting for Orochimaru to respond. His body flashed and he appeared in front of Chu, reaching out to grab him. Be careful, his chakra will explode. On the side, many ninjas spoke up to remind. Sasuke turned a deaf ear and still grabbed his neck. Sasuke, as expected of you, you are so brave, let's try the power of explosion style. Orochimaru was about to attack. But he was surprised to find that the chakra condensed by the hunter decreased rapidly. What's going on? Suddenly, he realized something was wrong. Sasuke grabbed Carrie's neck with one hand. He immediately activated the Book of Oni Yaluo. Soon, the explosion-style chakra gathered by Carrie was continuously absorbed into Sasuke's body. Well, is this the new blood inheritance limit? Sasuke narrowed his eyes slightly, feeling the power within his body. The explosion-style blood succession limit is just the icing on the cake for Sasuke now. It cannot bring him a substantial and powerful increase. After all, Sasuke's current strength is terrifying. Stupid Orochimaru, you don't really think that I will be attacked by explosion style. Sasuke looked at Carrie and sneered. Asshole Sasuke, I didn't expect you to master this kind of ninjutsu. This reminded him of his former subordinate, Red Copper Guy. The abilities of the two are somewhat similar. But Copper Guy can only absorb chakra, and the absorption speed is much slower than Sasuke. Orochimaru realized that relying on this ninjutsu to steal other people's chakra. During the time he was offline, Sasuke must have become stronger. After being absorbed by Sasuke with a large amount of chakra, cracks began to appear in Sho's filthy body. At the same time, the body began to turn white and lost vitality. Soon, a black curse pattern appeared on Sasuke's hand, and he used the power of magnet style to quickly seal him. Okay, it's done. Sasuke tossed him aside. Okay, so awesome. He actually defeated Sho with one move. Too strong, Uchiha Sasuke, worthy of being the commander-in-chief of this coalition. Everyone stared at him in shock. You know, they faced Sho before, but there was nothing they could do. With the explosion-style chakra, he is like a hedgehog that makes people afraid to approach easily. Even if he uses long-range ninjutsu, he will be able to evade it with his flexible skills. But Sasuke took action and defeated him instantly. It's really shocking. Sasuke raised his head and looked at the stunned people on the side and said, "Remember, watch him and don't let the enemy take it away." After leaving a sentence, he flashed away again. In thick white fog, from time to time, the screams of ninjas were heard. With the help of mist shinobi technique, Zabuza becomes like a ghost, lurking in the white mist to carry out assassinations. A sand shinobi ninja walked in the white mist with a look of uneasiness and fear. Suddenly, a figure appeared in front of him. Under extreme tension, he stabbed out the kunai in his hand instantly. Poof! Blood spattered and one of his companions fell to the ground in pain. Asshole, what are you doing? I'm not your enemy. Ha, I'm sorry, I thought it was the mist shinobi ghost who was approaching. This sand shinobi is about to step forward to rescue his companions. Suddenly, a black shadow appeared behind him. Little, be careful, he's coming. His companion who fell to the ground stared at him in horror. It's over. He immediately felt the shinigami approaching. The moment Zabuza was about to chop it down. Zetsa. A kunai covered with lightning-style chakra shot out from the darkness and instantly pierced his hand. The two took the opportunity to escape quickly. Great, save. After the disaster, both of them stared ahead curiously. Who was it? Saved their lives. Ha, Zabuza, it's really you. Sasuke's voice came from the thick fog, and then slowly emerged. Kid, it's you. Zabuza stared at Sasuke and smiled. It seems that you have grown a lot. Sasuke slowly stepped forward and Taguchi said. I have brought your wish to Terumi-me. Okay, it's time for you to return to the Pure Land. Zabuza shook his head slightly. Unfortunately, now I can't help myself and have been controlled by Orochimaru. Well, I have to personally send you on your way. Sasuke's feet moved, and like a phantom, he appeared directly in front of Zabuza. He reached out his hand and patted Zabu lightly on his chest. The extremely strong cold air burst out instantly, freezing Zabuza's entire body into an ice sculpture. At the same time, the black magnet-style curse mark hidden on his chest quickly emerged. He has become so much stronger. Uchiha Sasuke, maybe with your power, there is hope to change this cruel ninja world. Why? Zabuza couldn't help but think in his mind before his consciousness disappeared. Even with his strength, he was defeated instantly. As he was sealed, the white mist surrounding him quickly dissipated. Ha, Sasuke, you're here. Not far away, Kakashi and Might Guy rushed over quickly. Kakai, according to the intelligence, isn't it said that the damage here is not small? So, I sent a shadow clone to support. Sasuke said to them. Well, with your support, the situation will be much better. Kakashi saw the ghost that was instantly frozen by Sasuke, and a smile appeared on his face. Well, there's one last thing. Kakashi looked into the distance. A big knife struck Pakula on the shoulder. She stretched out her hand and held the back of the knife tightly. Immediately afterwards, scorch-style fireball flew out, instantly turning the ninja in front into a host. The injury on Pakula's shoulder healed quickly. Quick, back up. Don't fight her in close combat. Ordinary weapon attacks are useless, the body of filthy earth must be sealed. The other ninjas distanced themselves. At this time, a female ninja from Sand Shinobi not far away approached quickly with a belt in hand. With so many mummies and this kind of ninjutsu, you can't go wrong. When she approached the battle group, she saw at a glance the kunoichi surrounded by the crowd. Teacher Pakula, it is indeed you. Were you also resurrected by impure world reincarnation? Sunagaku Kunoichi Maki looked surprised. At this time, Pakula slowly raised his head. It turns out it's you, Juan. I haven't seen you for many years. You've grown up. Pakula frowned and said, Teacher Pakula, stop it. The person controlling you behind the scenes now is the Akatsuki organization. It wants to use you to start a ninja war. Juan shouted to her. HMPH, so what, isn't this the dirty ninja world? It's ridiculous. I used to have illusions about this kind of world. Pakula roared, his voice low and deep. As a Scorch-style ninja in the blood inheritance realm, she has completed many tasks and made great contributions to Sunagaku. But in order to reach a reconciliation with Kurigakure, 4th Kazekage pushed her out and became a scapegoat. At that time, without any suspicion, she thought it was because the village was carrying out a top-secret mission. But this mission actually requires her to die. She was attacked by Mist Shinobi disguised as a companion, and she didn't realize it until the moment she died. This cruel world and dirty big power deals are so disgusting. After being reincarnated by the impure world this time, she has decided to take revenge on Sunagaku. But, Teacher Pakula, the fourth Kazekage has died a long time ago, and the successor now is Lord Gara. He is definitely a qualified Kazekage. Juan said. Oh, a good death. Pakula's eyes lit up. Of course, you should thank me, I was the one who killed Luo Sha. Orochimaru's voice suddenly sounded in her mind. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.